What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 2MJ Chapter 26 The world is shocked. Please ask for flowers, collections, comments. As soon as the 1 billion bounty came out, the entire sea was shaken. Celestial gold is the taboo of all celestial dragons, and now someone dares to take action against celestial dragons. This news spread quickly, and Levi's reputation spread throughout the Grand Line and the world. Even the overlord of the second half of the Grand Line, we also know Levi's name. Koolalala, you are such an amazing kid. Whitebeard held a newspaper in his hand. He took a big sip of wine, then glanced at the newspaper in his hand, and said with a bold smile, "What an amazing kid, he actually dares to take action against the gold in the sky. Dad, this is the first time in history that the gold in the sky has been robbed. This young man is really brave. I really want to meet him. Such a courageous person is qualified to be our brother." As the captain of Whitebeard's first team, Marco's first reaction was whether this person could be used by the Whitebeard pirates. "Don't worry, we will have a chance to meet each other. We are all men on the sea. But if he really comes to my Whitebeard pirate group because he is being hunted by Marine, I, Whitebeard, will definitely recognize this son." Whitebeard raised his glass, and the entire Whitebeard pirate group fell into carnival again. New World, Toto Land Kingdom, Cake Island. A pirate with $1 billion bounty? I didn't expect that such a character could appear on the sea. It's a pity that he is a human being, otherwise he could be my man. Big Mom sat on her throne and sighed in boredom. In one breath, she then picked up a huge piece of cake and put it in her mouth. After that, she closed her eyes in intoxication. "The cream from Bodo Island is the most delicious. Let them prepare 10 tons of cream for me immediately," Big Mom ordered. Then there was a dark figure above the main hall who went out to do something. "Well, in that case, let him be Smoothie's husband. This kid is about the same age as Smoothie." Big Mom claps her hands and decides on a marriage for her daughter. "Mom, you can't do this." Smooth's cheeks turned red. He was so embarrassed to say such a thing in front of so many people. "So, you are going to oppose me?" The aunt looked at Smoothie, her eyes were bloodshot, and at the same time, a depressing atmosphere filled the entire hall, making the entire hall suddenly become quiet. "Mom, that's not what she meant. Sister Smoothie is just shy, yes, shy." As the eldest son of his aunt, Parasparrow hurriedly came out to defend his sister. He had no choice but to do so. Once his mother went berserk, the consequences would be really terrible. Yes, after all, he is a brat who has never been masked, and he is suddenly engaged to be married. "No matter who he is, he will be shy," Smoothie said with a smile, and her back was now covered with cold sweat. "So that's it. That doesn't matter. Just wait until you get married and think he's not suitable and kill him. Now send someone to send that brat an invitation to the tea party." Big Mom laughed again, so the candles and flowers in the hall also everyone laughed, and a cheerful atmosphere appeared in the hall again. In a little-known tavern in East Blue, a red-haired man wearing a straw hat was lying on the back of a chair. He also held a newspaper in his hand. "There are still people who dare to rob the gold in the sky. I really want to fight with this Levi. Let's meet each other. I feel like we will become good friends." "Shanks, how long are you prepared to stay here? New World is about to start a new round of reshuffle. If we don't hurry up, we will miss the last chance." Beside Shanks, a man with a slicked back hair complained, the stocky man smoking a cigarette. "You're right." Shanks laughed heartily. "Beckman, it's time for us to go to New World to compete for hegemony. I will also become the new emperor of New World." "Becoming the new emperor?" Yasop laughed. He shouted loudly, "Everyone, eat well and drink well, we will start Chumbo New World tomorrow. Dominate, dominate." The pirates in the tavern let out loud roars. "Loot the heavenly gold? This seems to be a shortcut to becoming a Shichibukai?" Doflamingo was also holding a newspaper at the moment, and he was thinking more than others. He is a descendant of the celestial dragons, so he naturally knows what heavenly gold means to the celestial dragons, and he also knows many secrets of the celestial dragons. As long as these secrets are in hand, the celestial dragons will never dare to kill him. Doflamingo is a far more suitable candidate than Levi. As a tycoon, Doflamingo knows well that you cannot put all your eggs in one basket. Although Marine promised him that as long as he could find the op fruit, Marine would let him become a Shichibukai. But Doflamingo is still looking for a second plan. Now Levi's approach has inspired him, and a new backup plan has taken shape. "Young master, op fruit is coming to Mignon Island soon." Torbol's voice brought Doflamingo back to reality. He straightened his flamingo coat and walked out. "Friends, come with flowers, evaluation votes, and monthly tickets. 1 or 2 flowers is never too few, and 10 or 8 flowers are never too many." Chapter 27 Tom the Fishman, please give me flowers, collect and comment. Although the whole world has been shocked by Levi, Levi is still unaware of it. At this moment, he and Tesoro came to the 7 capitals of water. "Boss, Water 7 is a famous shipbuilding base in the entire New World. We can just find a large shipyard to design it. Why do you have to find a fishman named Tom?" Tesoro asked in confusion. In his mind, it is just a design drawing of a big ship. Just find someone to design it, as long as it can be driven. Why have to find someone to customize it? Why are you looking for Tom? Because he built Roger the Pirate King's Oro Jersey. Levi's words left Tesoro speechless. A person's name, the shadow of a tree. After Roger became the Pirate King, even his ship became a legend. Tesoro only knew that Roger's ship was made entirely of atom wood, but he didn't know who built it. He never expected that the captain who built Roger's pirate ship was in the 7 capitals of water. And what Tesoro didn't know was that Levi had an extremely amazing idea. He was planning to build an unprecedented ship, one with an area the size of a country. Levi couldn't think of anyone who could complete this kind of ship. He could only find the strongest shipbuilder in the world. "Who are you looking for?" asked a young man with blue hair and a pair of swimming trunks. This young man is that Frankie. At this time, perhaps because of his younger age, he is far from the strong pervert aura that he will have in later generations. "I'm looking for Master Tom," Levi said with a smile. "What are you doing with the old man? He's not free right now." Frankie tilted his head and replied. Master Tom was known to pirates all over the world because he built a ship for the Pirate King Roger. It was also because of this ship that after the Pirate King Roger was executed, he was brought to Eni's lobby for trial because he assisted the Pirate King in building the ship. However, after he asked the trial judge to explain the design and concept of the sea train, the judge changed the trial and temporarily gave him time to create it. Now Tom has moved to this remote island and is determined to build a sea train. He will never build a new pirate ship for others. "Master Tom, please see me again." Levi's voice suddenly rose, and his voice spread far away. "Guest, please leave immediately, otherwise don't blame me for being rude." Frankie held a cannon in his hand, and he pointed the dark barrel at Levi. "I didn't expect that Levi, who has been so famous recently, would come to a small place like mine. Please come in." Fishman Tom came out of the hut. Contrary to Levi's expectations, his temper was surprisingly good. "I didn't expect that Master Tom actually knew me. It really surprised me. Although I work behind closed doors, I read every issue of the newspaper. It's hard not to recognize the great pirate whose bounty is currently as high as 1 billion, Tom said with a smile. "I don't know why you came here. If it's to build a ship, please come back. I really don't have time." Fishman Tom blocked Levi's words before he could explain his purpose. "Of course I don't want the master to build a ship. I want the master to design a big ship for me, a ship bigger than the country." Levi's words shocked Tom. Tom has built countless boats in his life, but this is the first time he has heard of a ship of this size. A large 3-masted ship like the ships built by the pirates was enough. This was the first time he had heard of such an amazing idea. "I want to build a country drifting on the sea. I want to rescue the people who are deeply oppressed on the sea. This ship will be their shelter. Everyone is equal here. As long as they need to work, they can beat me with everything they have. Here they will no longer be oppressed, here." Through Levi's narration, a perfect society full of fantasy is in front of Tom and others. Tom and others are inspired to flush, and each of them has been discriminated against. Tom is a fishman, so he was discriminated against by humans when he first came to land. It took him half a lifetime to throw water into the water before the humans in the 7 capitals finally recognized him, but countless people under the Fishmen Island, the fishmen, are still petitioning hard to gain power above the ground, and countless fishmen are still being sold into slavery. As for Tesoro, his lover Stella was a slave. He worked hard to earn money to redeem her, but as soon as he saved enough money, Stella was bought by the celestial dragons. She was then tortured by the celestial dragons, and died. He also became a slave for insulting the celestial dragons. "Everyone, we are free. Why can celestial dragons be so superior?" Levi's question caused Tom and Tesoro's worldview to collapse. They were indoctrinated into the concept that celestial dragons are gods since they were born. After Levi's guidance, a new world appeared before their eyes. "In line with your great ideal, I designed this ship for you," Tom said solemnly. "Thank you very much, Master Tom," Levi said to Tom. "You're too polite. It's me who should thank you. I'm very honored to be able to participate in such a great plan." Tom declined hastily. He saw in Levi the hope of the Murlocs returning to land. "Dear readers, please give me some tickets and rewards. Don't be stingy with the flowers and tickets in your hands. It's free. If you don't vote, it will be wasted. Please support me by voting. The author is begging for help. Thank you." Chapter 28 New Mission. Please give me flowers, review and collection. Ding. A new sign-in mission has been released. Host is asked to reach Angel Island within 7 days, defeat the god of Thunder Enel and save Angel Island. Reward: 1 Logia Devil Fruit Thunder Fruit. While Levi was chatting with Tom, the system that had been dormant for a long time reappeared. A new check-in task was released again, and the current rewards made Levi very excited. Thunder Fruit is called the strongest Logia Devil Fruit by countless comic fans. Users who use this devil fruit can not only turn their bodies into thunder and lightning, but also use thunder and lightning to create high temperatures, and can also use the form of thunder and lightning and the speed of light. Rapid movement among conductors. What makes Levi most excited about this fruit is that this fruit can use its power of thunder and lightning to temper the body. This is an all-round invincible fruit. Now Levi's physical skills have reached a bottleneck, but his physical skills still have a lot of room for improvement, and the easiest way to improve his physical skills is to eat a devil fruit. According to the current time calculation, Enel has destroyed his hometown Burka, and Enel should have arrived at Angel Island by now. Tesoro, you and I are going to do something, Levi ordered Tesoro. So the two of them headed towards Angel Island again. Is this Sky Island? At this moment, Levi felt as if they had arrived in a white wonderland. The sky and the earth were hazy white, as beautiful as a dream. According to the plot of the anime, Angel Island is above Gaia Island. If an ordinary pirate ship wants to reach Sky Island from here, it must use the sky current. But they didn't know when the soaring current would break out, so Levi and Tesolo used moonwalk directly to Angel Island. Levi's expression moved, and he seemed to feel something and remained motionless. While everyone was marveling at the scenery of the White Sea, they suddenly felt a pain in their hearts, as if something had pierced them. Is this Enel's heart network? Levi felt something strange in his chest, and he felt more and more that Enel was also a talent. What a strange cloud, Tesolo exclaimed. The cloud was so soft and comfortable to step on now that it was more comfortable than stepping on a carpet, and it didn't get dirty. The most peculiar thing is that the houses here and everything within sight are made of white clouds and shells. This is a civilization of clouds and shells. Levi pointed to the glorious golden clock in the distance and said, "There is a lot of gold in this place. Go dig it out. Although there is still a small obstacle ahead, you should be able to overcome it, right?" Tesoro's strength is no problem against ordinary Chundu, and there should be no problem in letting him deal with Enel's 4 priests. Levi then used Shave and Moonwalk at the same time to rush towards where Enel was. Enel was still eating apples when a person suddenly appeared in front of him. Enel stared blankly at Levi, who suddenly appeared with a pair of dead fish eyes on his expressionless face. Levi was very satisfied with Enel's expression, and it was worth Levi's pretense. Enel wears a white turban on his head, his ears hang past his shoulders, and he has a death-faced drum on his back. He looked at Levi in front of him and was stunned for a moment. He swallowed the apple in his hand and touched the golden throne behind him. The throne immediately melted and turned into a golden stick. Levi looked at Enel's operation with envy. This is the god of God. He uses gold as a weapon. Even the Ark of Proverbs is made of gold. I'm afraid there are only celestial dragons and the future golden emperor Tai in the entire One Piece world. Zoro can compete with Enel. Levi took one step and reached the top of Sky Island. When he first appeared, a lightning turned into a human figure and appeared in front of him. It was Enel. The moment Enel sensed Levi, he transformed into thunder and came to Levi. As expected of the strongest devil fruit, with teleportation speed, devastating attacks, and the ability to continuously strengthen the body, Levi sighed. But all this is just bells and whistles, and everything is false in the face of absolute strength. Levi clenched his fist and said to Enel, "Are you ready for failure? How dare you say such things to God?" Enel said with full of chunibyo. "Feel my iron fist." Before Enel could finish speaking, Levi punched Enel. The punch hit Enel's abdomen directly and stayed there. It penetrated into his body and caused serious injuries to his internal organs. Enel coughed up a mouthful of blood. He had just transformed into a thunderbody, but it was of no use and was still injured by Levi. He clutched his abdomen and said angrily, "How dare you hurt a great god? You're finished. 30 million volt Thunderbirds. 30 million volts, Thunderbeast." Enel raised his golden stick and struck the big drum behind him twice. A white Thunderbird shaped like a phoenix and a blue beast rushed towards Levi. Levi looked at the two Thunderbeasts and said contemptuously to Enel, "Thor, show some real skills. It's better not to show these fancy things. It's okay to deal with small characters, but it's not that good to deal with me." Waiting for the two Thunderbeasts to approach, Levi beat them to ashes with one punch. Enel was also shocked by Levi's exaggerated approach. This was the first time Enel saw an opponent who could destroy his Ultralisk with just his fists. 100 million volts, thunder welcomes. A bolt of lightning fell straight on Levi's head. Levi appeared there without dodging. The lightning hit Levi and the scene became blazing white. "Is that all you can do, Enel?" After the dazzling light passed, Enel's eyes suddenly shrank when he looked at the scene in front of him. He couldn't help but take a breath. This time his opponent was so terrifying. Enel's 100 million volt attack was enough to wipe out a small island, but now the opponent in front of him actually ignored his lightning. The lightning that struck Levi only tore his clothes into pieces. Except for the fact that Levi's hair turned into chicken coop hair, there were no wounds on Levi's body. Dear readers, please give me some tickets and rewards. Don't be stingy with the flowers and tickets in your hands. It's free. If you don't vote, it will be wasted. Please support me by voting. The author is begging for help. Thank you. Chapter 29 Battle with Enel. Please give me flowers, collections and comments. Levi said boldly, "Come again." Enel danced the long stick in his hand a few times and said, "You are very strong, so you are lucky to be able to see God's ultimate stunt. There's so much nonsense, take the bait." When Levi's fist was swung out, a shadow of the fist magnified 100 times hit Enel. Enel did not retreat at all. As his body began to glow, a second sun seemed to appear above Sky Island. Enel took this move solely by virtue of his superior physical strength. Lei Yi Jin. The tip of the long stick in Enel's hand began to change and turned into a trident. Thunder and lightning shone all over his body, attacking Levi in all directions. Interesting, so interesting. Levi laughed wildly and dodged Enel's attack. He had already awakened observation haki when Nine Snakes was training, and now he can easily feel the trajectory of Enel's attack and dodge it easily. Enel's attack is deeply rooted in martial arts, with the characteristic of being fast and unbreakable. He took Thunderfruit's speed to ultimate. Pricking, picking, slashing, splitting, stabbing, the golden trident covered Levi like a violent storm. Levi had not fought so heartily for a long time. At this moment, although he felt like he was fighting alone with Enel, he felt that Enel was everywhere. Levi knew that this was an illusion caused by Enel's too fast speed. Levi's whole body was covered with armed haki. When he clashed with Enel's trident with his fist, he discovered that Enel's attack also contained powerful electric current, which could paralyze people unconsciously. What kind of trick are you doing? Enel looked at Levi, whose clothes had become dark and shiny, in confusion. He felt that ever since Levi became like this, his lightning has become immune to Levi. This is the first time Enel has encountered this situation. Poor frog in the well, this one is called armament haki. In the world below, anyone with a little bit of strength can do this. How about it? Consider becoming my subordinate, I won't treat you badly, Levi tempted. Enel's face was still expressionless, and Levi suspected that this guy was paralyzed. At this moment, Enel spoke. You want me to be your subordinate? Defeat me first? 20 million volts of thunder. Enel stared at Levi with his dead fish eyes, and he said word by word. I want to see if your armament haki can withstand my 200 million volts. A huge fat man made of thunder and lightning took Enel's place. Levi looked at the godlike fat man in front of him in shock. This fat man with thunder and lightning was nearly 100 meters tall. His whole body was surrounded by thunder and lightning, and occasionally there was another one on the surface of his body. A small electric arc jumped out and made a crackling sound. Levi felt the overwhelming momentum of this thunder god. The surface temperature of this thunder god's body seemed to be that of a huge iron-making blast furnace. He could already feel the heat of the surrounding temperature even though he was hundreds of meters away from this thunder god. Before Levi could think more, Thor had already launched an attack on Levi. Thor's huge figure flashed in front of Levi. Before Thor's fist fell, Levi had used Moonwalk to leave Thor's attack range. Levi frowned and thought, we must fight quickly. The surface temperature of this guy's body is too high. It seems that he needs to show some real skills. In an instant, Levi used all his strength. He started to attack the thunder god who was 100 meters away. Levi called this move beating an ox across a mountain. Although the power of the fist was separated from the body, the power of the fist did not decrease at all. The god of thunder was like a candle blown by the strong wind, and the thunder and lightning all over his body was scattered by Levi's punches. The god of thunder became smaller and smaller. Just when Levi thought that the overall situation was determined, something happened on the field again. How is it possible to defeat me? Wan Lei, open it for me. Following Enel's shout, a sea of thunder suddenly poured down from the sky. The sea of thunder submerged the surroundings of Enel. The god of thunder slowly grew in size at a speed visible to the naked eye, even greater than before. Is this an ability similar to the field? I never thought that Enel has such a skill. Levi couldn't help but admired. He is indeed the crew member I like. He is indeed very capable. As thunder fell from the sky, the white clouds above Sky Island were suddenly cleared, and a black ship bottom was revealed in the sky. Only then did Levi discover that the thunder in the sky was cast by Enel with the help of the Ark's proverbs. Enel immediately attacked Levi, trying to bring Levi into his attack range. How could Levi get his wish? Although Levi was not afraid of his thunder and lightning, but the ruined clothes were still money. Levi uses Moonwalk's crazy change of direction in an attempt to leave Enel's territory. But every time he changed direction, Enel was already rushing over. He changed 3 or 4 directions, and Enel was able to block him every time. Has it been seen through? Levi suddenly remembered Enel's innermost thoughts and couldn't help but suddenly realize. His attack had actually been reflected in Enel's mind for a long time, but Enel remained calm. Dear readers, please give me some tickets and rewards. Don't be stingy with the flowers and tickets in your hands. It's free. If you don't vote, it will be wasted. Please support me by voting. The author is begging for help. Thank you. Chapter 30 Crazy Enel, please give me flowers, collect and comment. Levi laughed and said, you give me more and more surprises, Enel. At this moment, Levi was already in the midst of Enel's thunder, but his whole body was not damaged at all. Enel's attacks hit Levi's body one after another, but Levi's body was not damaged at all. Levi said to Enel, although your lightning is powerful, it is useless as long as it cannot break my armament haki. After a brief moment of surprise, Enel sneered. Qinghai people, although I don't know the principle of your move, all the moves have one thing in common, that is, they require physical strength to support. Let me see how many you have. Physical strength. Enel is really a genius. Although he does not know the principle of armament haki, he can still grasp the fundamental points keenly. Enel's thunder and lightning became more and more dazzling, and Levi knew that Enel was not cheating him, but that Enel really wanted to compete with Levi in consumption. A flash of light flashed in Levi's eyes, and his fist had begun to charge up. In order to prevent Enel from escaping, he had to severely injure Enel first. When Enel was proud, A fist suddenly appeared in his abdomen, and he was hit and flew into the sky. At the moment when the fist hit Enel seemed to be in a noisy banquet, with various musical instruments playing wildly in his ears, and a cloud of gold stars appeared in front of his eyes. Before Enel could calm down, Levi had already appeared behind him. Clenching his hands together and hitting him on the back, Enel was beaten inhumanely by Levi like a rubber ball. "Did you hit him too hard?" Levi frowned and looked at the lifeless Enel in front of him and couldn't help complaining. "Why did you fall down before I even tried to do anything?" At this moment, Enel, who had lost all breath, started to beat faster and slowly recovered. His heartbeat became faster, and finally he jumped up from where he was. Levi couldn't help but feel amazed when he saw Enel performing surgery on himself that was comparable to Doflamingo using string fruit. He could revive his dead self. This thunder fruit was really awesome. Enel gasped, and it took him a while to calm down his breathing. He looked at Levi with a look of resentment and said, "I have never been beaten like this since I was a child. How dare you beat me like this? You will die. Not only are you dead, but everyone who came with you will also die." Finally, Lei Ying, Enel's crazy laughter sounded. "Shanghai people, disappear with this island." At this moment, the people of Sky Island have been attracted by the direction where Levi and Enel are fighting. They can't help but feel a sense of despair when they look at the huge thunderball in front of them. Are they going to die here today? Levi also felt a crisis from Enel's lightning attack. Now Enel's ultimate move really has the ability to kill him. Somewhere on Sky Island, an old man wearing armor and riding a winged Pegasus sat slumped on the ground. He was still muttering to himself, "It's over. Can Angel Island also escape the fate of being destroyed?" This old man is Gonful, the original god of Angel Island. He was the original ruler of Angel Island. After Enel arrived at Sky Island, he was defeated by Enel and then exiled. He could only wander in the White Sea. The momentum caused by Enel's destruction of Burka could be heard in other Sky Islands. At that time, such a big thunderball hit Burka and it was destroyed. Levi was caught in a battle between heaven and man. If he was alone, he could easily get rid of Enel's ultimate move, but there were countless Sky Island residents below Sky Island, and he couldn't let them all die. Enel felt Levi's struggle with his heart, and he felt more and more at ease. Just when Enel was about to throw his head back and laugh wildly, Levi spoke. "You feel it in your heart, right? In fact, I am lying to you. Are you happy or surprised?" Enel suddenly felt Levi disappear. Although Levi was in front of him, his mind showed that there was a blank there. "I could have blocked your heart from the beginning, but I kept teasing you just for fun," Levi said to Enel. "You." Enel spurted a mouthful of blood. He had never seen such a shameless person. Enel's face was distorted and he said, "Stop talking so loudly, let's talk about this next move." A ball of lightning the size of an island was struck down in his hand. Golden fruit, drainage. At this moment, a cold shout sounded, and a giant net composed of gold appeared over Angel Island. Before Enel's thunder and lightning touched Angel Island, his thunder and lightning followed the golden net over Angel Island to all directions. Flow away. Dear readers, please give me some tickets and rewards. Don't be stingy with the flowers and tickets in your hands. It's free. If you don't vote, it will be wasted. Please support me by voting. The author is begging for help. Thank you. Chapter 31 Departure. Please ask for flowers, collection, comments. A burst of bright light suddenly erupted in the sky of Angel Island. The light was so intense that the residents of Angel Island could not see. "We survived." The residents of Angel Island cried with joy. Although they didn't know what happened, they knew that they were lucky to survive. "Good job, Tesoro." Levi gave Tesoro a thumbs up. At this moment, Tesoro was so tired that he was lying on the ground panting due to the super limit explosion just now. "Boss, this guy is really too strong." Tesoro is still frightened. If the thunderball just hit him, I'm afraid even he wouldn't be able to survive. "Damn it, if my maxim is completed, you will never be able to take the blow just now. You are all monsters from where you came from," Enel said unwillingly. "Monster? Poor frog in the well, our level is just average in the blue ocean below. Monsters stronger than us are everywhere." Tesoro looked at Enel with eyes full of pity. I have to say that although Tesoro is a singer, his acting skills are also very strong. "You are no match for our boss at all. He was just playing with you just now." The pity in Tesoro's eyes became even stronger, which made Enel's irritated eyebrows jump. "Stop talking nonsense, Shanghai people." Enel's body was filled with lightning. It was obvious that he wanted to continue fighting Levi. "Boss, don't hold back, use Conqueror's Haki to overwhelm him directly." Tesoro cheered for Levi from below. Levi's eyes were sharp, and an inexplicable aura emanated from his body and pressed directly towards Enel. Enel felt as if his whole body was shackled, his heart seemed to be clenched tightly, and his 100% strength was reduced to 30%. Then it was Levi's personal show. Enel had consumed too much in the previous wave, and now he was far from Levi's opponent just relying on his physical strength, so Enel was completely treated as a sandbag by Levi. The corners of Tesoro's eyes twitched when he saw it, and he felt pain when he saw it, but Enel was really tough. Even though he was bruised and swollen by Levi, he still refused to give in, and kept mumbling some Chunibyo words. Stop fighting, I'm convinced, I'm convinced." Enel, bruised and swollen, finally gave in. Ding! It is detected that the host task has been completed. Now the rewards will be distributed. At the moment Enel begged for mercy, the system's voice sounded, and a current flowed down Levi's body. Crack, crackle. A weak arc of electricity continued to appear on Levi's body, and then he felt that his physical strength was rapidly recovering, and as the current traveled, his body's strength also increased. Although this increase was slow, it's increasing all the time. Sure enough, choosing Thunderfruit was the right choice. Levi was overjoyed. He had only inherited Enel's power and did not eat devil fruit directly. Theoretically, he could now eat other devil fruit. Yes, host, you just inherited the power of Thunderfruit, so you don't have the disadvantages of demon fruit power. Sea stone and seawater are ineffective on you. The system's voice rang in time. After some repairs, Enel asked his priests to continue to guard Angel Island, and he wanted to follow Levi towards the Blue Sea. What's going on? I remember that Ark Proverbs only has one bottom. How come it's been built after I haven't seen it all night? Levi looked at the golden ark in front of him and was full of questions. Boss, this is the result of one night between Enel and I. With the cooperation of my golden fruit and his thunder metallurgy, we completed the construction of this big ship in one night. Tesoro was full of high spirits at this moment. He originally collected countless gold on Sky Island, and he was still worried about how to transport the gold away. However, after some exchanges with Enel, they began to build the Ark of Proverbs, and also built the ship on the original basis, expanded several times. In Levi's memory, the Ark Proverbs is a very strange ship. It is different from traditional ships sailing on the sea. It is a spacecraft suspended in the air using the technology of the Moon People. The ship is powered entirely by Enel's Thunderfruit. Enel's eyes looked at the bright moon in the sky. At this moment, his eyes were full of deepness. That is the hometown of the Sky Islanders. One day, I will take Proverbs to visit our hometown. Levi couldn't help but be in awe of Enel. While everyone was still pursuing the age of discovery, Enel's journey was already reaching the stars and the sea. Okay, let's activate the Proverbs. It's time for us to return to the 7 capitals of water. Levi stood on the bow of the Proverbs and shouted. Then, the leaves of Proverbs began to rotate slowly, and then they headed towards the Blue Sea. A new day, a new beginning. There are still 6 updates today. Dear readers, please vote for flowers. The author is still working on coding. Chapter 32 Enel's Golden Lion. Please give me flowers, collections and comments. Ding. It has been detected that the host task has been completed. Now a new check-in task is released. Please ask the host to challenge one of the 4 emperors at random. The reward. Top swordsmanship. Just as the Ark was sailing, the system's voice sounded again. Levi is becoming more and more confused about this system. He has been training in 9 snakes for 2 years and has not issued any tasks. Now the tasks are one after another. In Levi's previous life, he had longed for swordsmanship. Under the influence of countless martial arts masterpieces, he had always had a dream of traveling to the end of the world wearing white clothes and holding a long sword in hand. Has the system given him this opportunity now? He must catch. It's not difficult to challenge 4 emperors. What's difficult is how to stay alive after challenging 4 emperors. Levi has just gained the ability of Thunderfruit. There is still a certain gap between him and the 4 emperors. Moreover, he is also a proud and arrogant person. It would be a shame if he could not stand up to the 4 emperors and be beaten to the ground by the 4 emperors. The face of the time traveler and the system. Boss, we saw traces of land. Enel reported to Levi. Enel's observation hockey range is extremely wide, so he became the navigator on Levi's ship. Strange, it doesn't seem to be Guy Island. Tesoro frowned. The permanent pointer on his hand pointed to Guy Island, but the scenery of this island was completely different from Guy Island. I didn't expect that there are islands like Angel Island on the Blue Sea. It's really magical, Enel admired. When they landed on the island, they discovered that it was an island floating in the air. It was now just over Guy Island, causing everyone to mistake him for Guy Island. Levi's expression was ugly. There was only one island that could float above the sea, and that was the legendary pirate, one of the current 4 emperors, and the ship of the pirate Admiral Golden Lion. Quick, let's go. Levi's face looked ugly. What kind of place is this? I feel like your expression is not right, boss. Enel has been living on Sky Island, and he doesn't understand the powerful people on this continent. This is not an island, this is a pirate ship of the Sky Pirates, and its owner is named Golden Lion Shiki. This person competes with Roger, the Pirate King, for the throne of the Pirate King. Moreover, this person is the only one who has escaped from Impelled Down, which is known as an iron-walled prison. Why do you think I have this expression? Levi recounted several of Golden Lion's famous deeds in one breath. Tesoro couldn't help but gasped. 14 years ago, he broke into naval headquarters alone and fought with Marine Admiral Sengoku and Marine Hero Garp for 3 days and 3 nights. In the end, he was captured alive at the cost of destroying half of Marineford. That one. So, he is one of the top people on this sea? Enel's eyes were full of eagerness to try. He had always felt that Levi was lying to him, and now that he had an opportunity to challenge the top existence, how could Enel be unhappy? Gee ha ha ha, I didn't expect that my Golden Lion would still have such prestige in front of the younger generation. I feel so relieved, a hockey's voice sounded. This voice was like a lion roaring, shaking the whole forest. The leaves are rustling. As described in the legend, the golden lion has long golden hair that reaches the ground, just like a lion's sideburns, and the golden lion's sideburns and beard are both golden. The most peculiar thing is that there is a rudder stuck upright on his head. The golden lion wears an orange and yellow striped kimono. The most peculiar thing is that both of his lower legs have disappeared, replaced by two long swords. Levi knows that these are the swords, Sakura 10, and Deadwood, of Golden Lion. Golden Lion is now the world's greatest swordsman. He is a double swordsman and is the target that Hawkeye now wants to challenge. Are you the Golden Lion? Laozi wants to challenge you. Before Levi could speak, Enel turned into a bolt of lightning and attacked the Golden Lion. Do young people today really don't know what awe is? Golden Lion's face suddenly turned gloomy. Golden Lion kicked his right foot forward. From the starting point of his right foot to the edge of the island, a huge ravine extended directly to the edge of the island, and even the clouds on the horizon were cut in two. It's so scary, I almost died. A bolt of lightning flashed and gathered into Enel's figure. Golden Lion said with a gloomy face, "No wonder you dare to challenge me." It turns out that he is a natural fruit ability user. But just relying on a Logia Devil fruit is not enough. Laozi is a Golden Lion. Lion Majesty Earth Coiling, 100 million Ford Thor. Several lion heads as huge as mountains rushed towards Enel with a shrill roar. Although Enel moved fast, he still did not dodge in the face of such a ranged attack. Boom! After a violent impact, a thunderbolt appeared next to Levi and Enel's figure condensed into shape, but blood was bleeding from the corner of his mouth at this moment, and he looked seriously injured. Come again, old fellow. Enel wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and turned into a bolt of thunder again to attack the Golden Lion. Slash wave. Golden Lion's right foot kicked forward quickly, and the entire island was split into two by Golden Lion's blow. Boom! Enel hit the ground, and a shocking wound appeared on Enel's chest. If not for Enel's strong physique and his fast movement speed, he could avoid the Golden Lion's blow at the critical moment, but he has no strength to fight anymore. Friends, please support me with flowers and comments, thank you. Chapter 33. Negotiating with Golden Lion, asking for flowers, collection, and evaluation. As expected of the strongest, Enel's whole body was filled with lightning, and he actually used the high temperature of lightning to temporarily seal his wounds. Enel, step back. You are no match for Senior Golden Lion. He had already spared you, otherwise you would have died. Levi said to Enel. Lay yellered. Levi picked up the golden stick dropped by Enel, and as the lightning flashed, the golden stick turned into a golden sword. Why are there two thunder fruits? Golden Lion asked confused. Before he could ask questions, Levi stepped forward and gave him a swordsman's salute. Then a sword intent that penetrated the sky and the earth erupted from Levi's body for the first time. The sword intent was so strong that even in the sky the white clouds were also cut open. I didn't expect that besides Dracul Mahawk, there would be swordsmen of this level on this sea. Golden Lion's originally contemptuous expression suddenly faded away. A strong swordsman with this level deserves to be taken seriously. This is also the respect given to you by a strong swordsman. Levi felt the sword intent purging from his body. In his eyes, the originally decadent Golden Lion turned into a sword. The original decadent aura was swept away, and now he looked like a strong man. Levi let out a loud shout and flew towards the Golden Lion with a huge slash. Golden Lion felt his blood begin to boil. He had never felt this way since the Marineford battle. Now he felt like he was back in Japan when he and Roger were fighting for the Pirate King on the sea. Golden Lion was alive again. Lion Thousand Slice Valley. Golden Lion went completely crazy. Sakuraju and Kumu continued to release sword energy towards Levi. Although Levi had awakened top swordsmanship, he could not defeat Golden Lion. Although Levi's swordsmanship is comparable to that of the Golden Lion, his long sword made of gold is already full of cracks. It seems like it's time for me to get a famous sword, Levi thought as he looked at the cracked long sword. It's fun, it's so fun, Golden Lion shouted with disheveled hair, and then his face began to distort, and then his breath began to become frantic, and his two swords danced wildly, cutting down countless forests. What's going on with this guy? Enel asked in surprise. Levi knew that this was the aftereffect of the rudder in his mind. Because of the influence of the rudder, the Golden Lion became manic and irritable, and he would go crazy once hockey was used. Puff, puff. Following a fart-like sound, a guy in strange clothes walked over. This man was wearing a loose white coat, with a blue afro combed to both sides, a purple Madara dot scarf around his neck, and a pair of purple glasses. This guy hugged the Golden Lion and left without saying a word. Levi and the others followed him curiously towards the interior of the forest. Damn it. Did you faint again? This damn rudder. The Golden Lion hit the rudder on his head with his fist. Golden Lion let out a muffled groan, and then his whole body was covered in sweat. It took him a long time to recover. Wouldn't it be nice to have an operation to take it out? Levi's voice came from the side. I've been to the Drum Kingdom, which has the most advanced medical skills. Even Doriel, who has the most advanced medical skills, can't do anything about it. Golden Lion said with a bitter smile. What if I said I knew someone who could cure you? Levi said lightly. Golden Lion's expression changed, and then he laughed at himself. Lousy is not the kind of person who is afraid of death. As long as Lousy completes the implementation of this plan, Lousy can die. I seem to have a solution to the problem of these monsters being out of control. Levi's words went straight to the point of Golden Lion. Impossible. Lousy has been researching for so long and still can't find a solution. How could you have a solution? Are you lying to Lousy? Golden Lion's hands held his arms tightly, and Levi felt that his arms were faintly shaking. Pain. You can't solve this problem with science, but it's really easy to solve this problem with devil fruit, just like the rudder on your head. Levi said softly. In Levi's memory, there is a pirate named Breed in the East Blue Sea. He is Paramecia's pet fruit person. He can release a green aura in his hands, and as long as the target is caught by his aura you just have to be at his mercy. Although Luffy and the others later learned that this fruit would be ineffective as long as they couldn't hear his voice, this fruit was perfect for dealing with these ferocious beasts on Golden Lion Island. Kid, what do you want from me? Golden Lion glanced at Levi and asked. Golden Lion has been traversing the sea for so many years, and he deeply understands the truth that there is no free lunch in the world. So he wanted to see what this young man wanted. When fighting Levi, Golden Lion realized that Levi was also an ambitious man, and now he is waiting for Levi's bargaining chip. Thanks to the boss at the beginning of WX 175 for the reward. Your support is the author's biggest motivation. Finally, please ask for flowers, reviews, monthly passes, and rewards. Chapter 34 Grand Touring, asking for flowers, collections, comments. I just don't want to see a hero comparable to Roger meet such a tragic end. A hero like you should die on the battlefield. At this moment, Levi's eyes were filled with sincerity. Stop being so pretentious and tell me your conditions, Golden Lion said impatiently. Levi curled his lips and said, I just feel unhappy with Marine. It would be great if you go there before you die and cause a big turmoil for Marine. Levi could tell that after Roger's death, the Golden Lion had also begun to intend to die, but as Roger's lifelong rival, he was also planning a funeral that was no less than Roger's execution in Logue Town. Therefore, Levi and Golden Lion carefully planned, and they finally decided to choose the battlefield at Naval Headquarters Marineford. Kid, what happens next is up to you. I hope you won't lie to me, otherwise, Golden Lion said, giving Levi a meaningful look. Don't worry, Levi assured Golden Lion confidently. Boss, why should we try our best to help Golden Lion? Tetsolo couldn't figure out why Levi would do such a thankless thing. This kind of thing is obviously not in line with Levi's character. Marine is making trouble for me over and over again, which makes me very unhappy, and the most important thing is that I want to make this sea completely chaotic. Only in chaos will we have a chance. Whether Tesoro understood it or not, Levi is still heading towards the location where Proverbs landed. They now want to return to Water 7 Capital to get back the batch of gold to do business. Mr. Levi, I have already drawn the drawings you want. By the time Levi arrived at Tom's shipyard, Tom had already placed a thick roll of drawings on the table. Although Tom's eyes were bloodshot, he was still very energetic. Tom had never felt as motivated as he had during this period. He finally found the direction of his struggle. He put aside the plans of the sea train and devoted himself to drawing these drawings. Finally, he completed this feat. Mr. Levi, considering the special shipbuilding method you want to adopt in the scale of the ship, I divided the ship into 10 scales to build, and I also found several urban planning friends to contribute, and finally with this masterpiece. Tom looked at the roll of drawings like he was looking at a beloved child. With the help of Tom, Tesoro used the ability of the golden gold fruit to slowly solidify the gold, and finally a nearly 5-story ship made entirely of gold appeared in front of them. I have built countless ships in my life, but this ship is my life's work. Now, Mr. Levi, please name it. Just call it Grand Touring, Levi said, looking at the shiny golden ship. He still felt that the name of Tesoro's big ship should be used. Because Levi wants to build this ship into a casino like Las Vegas. Let this ship be his pocketbook. Levi looked at the honest fishman in front of him and said, Tom, you and your 2 apprentices come with me. Even if you research the sea train, CP9 will not let you go. Their goal is to save Pluton for you. Design diagram. Tom's face changed slightly, and then he laughed boldly. A man should face his vows with a loud voice. Since I promised to research the return train, I will never give up halfway. Levi didn't try to persuade him anymore. He knew that Fishman Tom was a man who kept his word and it was impossible for him to change his mind. Ace Bagu, be sure to contact me after Tom successfully researches the cross-sea train. Levi stuffed a phone bug into Bingshan. As the future leader of the 7 water capitals, he has a very stable character. He saw that Levi said it so seriously, so he solemnly promised Levi. Levi and others left the 7 capitals of water on this big ship, and Tom watched them leave. When Levi looked at Tom's figure, he decided that he would definitely save this good old man in the future. His fate should not be deceived by lackeys like CP9. This huge golden ship sailed on the sea, and all the ships on this route were amazed by it, and there are some guys flying pirate flags following them with malicious intentions. What a bunch of annoying bugs. Enel shot out several huge bolts of lightning from his hand, and the sneaky ships turned into several huge fireballs and were destroyed. Only when the pirates in the distance saw this scene did they realize that they were all a group of murderers, so only then did they completely let go of their petty thoughts. From now on, don't call me boss. From now on, call me captain. Levi shouted with great enthusiasm while standing on the giant ship. Enel gave him a look with his dead fish eyes and ignored him, while Tesoro was now piloting the ship in the power room. Feeling the awkward atmosphere on the ship, Levi made up his mind to quickly find a few reliable crew members. The current situation was really too embarrassing. Friends, if you have flowers, monthly tickets, or evaluation votes, please come with me. The author will continue to immerse himself in typing. I beg you, thank you. Chapter 35 Luo and Brother Ming, please give me flowers, collect and comment. It seems like a little bug sneaked up. Enel, who had closed his eyes tightly, suddenly smiled. Levi was also leisurely basking in the sun, but now he was also alarmed. Life on the sea is really boring. No wonder a pirate group has to recruit 8 or 9 partners at every turn. In addition to the need to go to sea, the most important thing is actually to relieve boredom. I'm going to catch him. After Tesoro said, a big hole silently appeared on the deck, and Tesoro's figure disappeared. This ship is entirely made of gold. On top of this ship is Tesoro's domain, and he can travel through the gold. That's the kid. Tesoro's body suddenly appeared, and then he threw the little kid's head on the deck. It's actually Luo. Levi looked at the kid in front of him, and he felt a very absurd feeling in his heart. He originally wanted to find Luo, and he wanted to use Luo's op fruit to remove the celestial dragon's marks on the backs of the 3 Hancock sisters. Unfortunately, there were a lot of things going on recently. By the time he remembered this, Luo had already obtained op fruit and escaped from Mignon Island. Levi originally wanted to go to North Blue to find Luo, but he didn't expect Luo to take the initiative to meet him, his men. Are you Levi? Trafalgar Law was also confused. He was originally avoiding the Doflamingo pirates. Mr. Corazon has died because of op fruit. He will never let op fruit return again. Doflamingo's hands. So he grabbed a small boat and fled into the sea. Behind him, the Doflamingo family's Flamingo family pirate ship was chasing after him. He saw the oncoming golden ship, and he was shocked by the luxurious atmosphere of the ship. Then he used op fruit's displacement ability to get to Levi's ship. When he thought about it, the person who dared to sail on the sea in a golden ship was definitely a rich or noble being. Unexpectedly, it was Levi, the most popular supernova in the pirate world. As a pirate, Luo always pays attention to the news in the pirate world. Levi made a big fuss in Mariejois, and even dared to rob the celestial dragons of the heavenly gold. Luo already regarded him as an idol, but he didn't expect that he would actually come to the idol's ship. Master Levi, my name is Trafalgar Law, and I am a doctor. Today I come here specifically to seek refuge with you. Luo bowed deeply to Levi. My name is Trafalgar di Vitiero. Have you been cured of your lead platinum disease? Levi asked with a smile. You, how do you know my full name? Luo asked stammering. In Luo's memory, his whole family had died in Frevens. The last person who knew his full name was Mr. Corazon. At that time, Mr. Corazon told him seriously not to tell him the D in his name. Other people. Even Corazon was shot dead by Doflamingo some time ago. Logically speaking, no one knows his name. Now that Levi called him by his full name, he immediately felt that his plan had been discovered. Hell, Levi is a big pirate with $1 billion bounty. How can he pay attention to a teenage child? Young master, there seems to be a ship made entirely of gold in front of you. Baby 5 and Buffalo reported to Doflamingo with flushed faces. Originally, Baby 5 was riding a buffalo on the sea looking for traces of Luo. Unexpectedly, they did not find Luo but instead saw a ship made entirely of gold. How could someone use gold to build a big ship? Did you lose Luo and try to make up lies to deceive us? Torbol's big head stretched out from behind Doflamingo and questioned. We didn't lie, look, they're coming. Baby 5 and Buffalo said in unison, pointing to the shining golden ship approaching in the distance. There really are such wealthy people. All the cadres of the Doflamingo family were stunned by this large ship. This ship was huge and seemed to be nearly 10 times the size of Doflamingo's pirate ship. Oh my god, how much gold does it take to build such a big ship? Jorah had already taken off her sunglasses, and her eyes had been attracted by this luxurious ship. Young master, I just used observation hockey to check the surroundings, and there was no ship passing by. Torbol's big head came over and whispered to Doflamingo. Doflamingo knows what he means. The wealth of this ship alone is more than the wealth of 10 Doflamingo families. In his impression, neither the 4 emperors nor his old rivals had such ships, and the celestial dragons generally had marine escorts. Doflamingo confirmed by elimination method that there was no one on this ship that he could not afford to defend. Fire the guns, capture the ship, and make a quick decision, Doflamingo said to his cadres. Boom boom boom. All the cannons on the Doflamingo family's pirate ship poured out their firepower on Levi's ship, and jets of water suddenly appeared around Levi's ship. Please give me flowers, reviews, and everything. Chapter 36 The War Begins. Please give me flowers, collections and comments. Doflamingo, you actually dared to take the initiative to cause trouble for me. You are really looking for death. Levi's big ship was suddenly bombarded, and his expression suddenly changed. Luo originally felt that Levi was like an amiable big brother, but now he felt that Levi's aura suddenly became as towering as the upside-down mountain in the Redhead continent. Finally some fun. Enel stood up slowly, then slowly turned his neck and made a clicking sound. Then he turned into a bolt of lightning and headed towards the Doflamingo family's pirate ship. Since Logia Demon Fruit Power. The shock in Luo's heart became even stronger. Logia Devil Fruit is known as the most powerful existence among the three series, and Logia Devil Fruit has always been priceless. Even Doflamingo has not acquired a Logia Devil Fruit for so many years. Now he actually saw a Logia's Demon Fruit Power on Levi's ship. No, it's Logia Demon Fruit Power. Doflamingo's face was full of solemnity. He released his Conqueror's Haki, and Enel was immediately suppressed. The same aura as Boss Levi. Enel stood on the sail of the golden ship and frowned. Conqueror's Haki. Tizoro was also surprised. Conqueror's Haki is said to be a one-of-a-kind being, and I didn't expect to see one here today. Luo was already overwhelmed by Doflamingo's Conqueror's Haki, but he still managed to persevere with a sense of obsession. Want to compete with Conqueror's Haki? As you wish? Levi smiled slightly, and a Conqueror's Haki, which was many times more powerful than Doflamingo, pressed towards Doflamingo. When Levi's Conqueror's Haki came out, even the clouds in the sky seemed to feel it, and the boundless clouds followed Conqueror's Haki towards Doflamingo. Levi, it's you? Doflamingo felt Levi's Conqueror's Haki, who was several times more tyrannical than him, and his face couldn't help but look even uglier. Levi, Luo is a member of our Don Quixote family. As long as you let him go, I will retreat immediately. Doflamingo saw that he could not win Levi today, so he changed his words as soon as he turned his eyes. Sorry, Luo is the ship's doctor on our ship now. I'm afraid he can't leave with you, Levi said with regret. Yes, I am now the ship's doctor for Boss Levi. I am no longer a member of the Don Quixote family. Luo yelled from below. He never expected that Levi would actually fight Doflamingo for him. In that case, let's say goodbye. After Doflamingo finished speaking, he was about to escape. He was not sure about taking down Levi, and now there was also Logia's Demon Fruit Power on Levi's ship. You have to give me some compensation for bombarding my ship. If you just leave like this, where will you put my face? Levi said to Doflamingo, who was about to leave. I was at fault first. How about I compensate you 100 million belly? Doflamingo said to Levi with a smile. I'm so poor now that I only have money, don't you see? Levi pointed at his golden ship and said to Doflamingo. Doflamingo's forehead had veins popping up, and he gritted his teeth and said, What do you want? Leave these 3 little girls with me. My boat is too big and I need a few girls who can serve tea and water and chat to relieve boredom. Levi pointed to Baby 5 and the other 2 little girls on the boat and said to Doflamingo. This is absolutely impossible. They are all cadres of my Doflamingo family. I will never trade with them. How about this? How about I give you 1 billion? Despite being provoked by Levi, Doflamingo was still very graceful, said to Levi. I said, I don't lack Pele, I have more money than you. Levi spread his hands and said to Doflamingo. Then let's have a fight. If I lose, not only will these 3 little girls be yours, but my life will also be yours. Doflamingo said simply. Tezzolo and Luo guard the ship. Enel, I want to live, don't kill any of them. Levi ordered Enel, who was standing on the sail. Understood. Enel gestured to Levi, and then he turned into a bolt of thunder and headed towards the Doflamingo family's pirate ship. 3,000 Ford Thunderbirds. Enel struck several small drums behind him with a golden stick, and a bolt of thunder turned into a big bird. The big bird spread its wings and rushed towards the cadres of the Doflamingo family. Watch me knock it down. Baby 5 pulled out a multi-barreled machine gun from her maid's skirt, and the machine gun sprayed a tongue of flame towards the Thunderbird summoned by Enel. Bullets hit the Thunderbird from time to time, but they had no effect at all. Thunderbird's speed didn't slow down at all and headed towards Flamingo's pirate ship. Friends, it's evening again. If you still have flowers and evaluation votes that haven't been voted out, please vote, otherwise tomorrow will be wasted. The author is begging, thank you. Chapter 37. Brother Ming's Defeat. Please give me flowers, collections and comments. Turn it into a painting for me. Jorah let out a loud laugh, and then a puff of smoke enveloped the entire ship. As soon as the Thunderbird pounced into the smoke, it slowly began to shrink, and finally it turned into a painting with a golden frame. There is an abstract Thunderbird in flight. What devil fruit is this? It's a very interesting ability. This is the first time for Enel to encounter this situation. He is no longer a dazed young man who just left Sky Island. After wandering on the sea for such a long time, he knows that he is not Thor. His abilities were also given by devil fruit. He has also seen many demon fruit powers, but this demon fruit power of the Doflamingo family made him feel very dangerous. I am a person with Paramecia devil fruit art fruit ability. I can make everything I think of manifest. Jorah said to Enel with his fingers forming a square shape. Another invincible fruit, what a pity. Levi took one look and then looked away. He was able to visualize everything he imagined. What a terrifying ability this was. Wouldn't it be invincible if Jorah embodied the whale or the elephant owner in the Twin Gorges? It's a pity that Jorah and Kanjuro, the one with the painting fruit ability, are both abstract painters. Hey, You dare to be distracted while fighting with me? Are you looking down on me? Doflamingo's words brought Levi's attention back. In this short moment, the space between Levi and Doflamingo was covered with countless extremely thin lines. These lines were connected to the clouds in the sky and their two large ships. These lines could only be seen by observation hockey. If the light, it is invisible to the naked eye. It's all bells and whistles. Levi's hand grabbed the mast, and in the flash of electric light, a 3-foot-long double-edged sword from the Celestial Empire condensed and took shape in Levi's hand. Break it for me. Levi let out a loud shout, then waved his left hand behind his back and his right hand in front of Doflamingo, and a huge crescent-shaped slash flew out, cutting off the threads under Doflamingo's cloth. Collapse. The thin wires snapped and bounced around, leaving scratches on the walls of Levi and Doflamingo's ship. There was a hint of gloom in Doflamingo's heart. According to his intelligence, Levi was a master of physical skills, but now Levi has shown good swordsmanship, and it seems that he is a top swordsman. Super hit whip. Several threads gathered in Doflamingo's hand, and then a huge linear drill was formed in Doflamingo's hand. The huge drill in Doflamingo's hand suddenly became longer and stabbed Levi. The long sword in Levi's hand kept sweeping across, and Doflamingo's thread was constantly cut by him, but Doflamingo's thread seemed to stretch endlessly, and every time the linear drill bit broke, a new drill bit was formed. Shoot. An evil smile appeared on the corner of Doflamingo's mouth. Next to Levi, the short line that was originally cut by him was now under Doflamingo's control, heading towards Levi like a rifle bullet. Moreover, the white line has also become pitch black, and armament hockey is attached to it. If Levi is stabbed, he will definitely be seriously injured. Electric light. Levi's whole body was surrounded by lightning, and Doflamingo's thread was instantly burned to ashes by the terrifying heat released by Levi. Is he a hybrid of fur tribe and human race? Doflamingo guessed, looking at the electric light swirling around Levi's body, but he felt that the electric light on Levi's body seemed to be much brighter than that of the fur tribe. Levi transformed into a bolt of lightning and instantly arrived in front of Doflamingo, punching him in the abdomen and hitting him hard under the sea. Spider's web wall. Doflamingo was hit by Levi and flew towards the sea. When he was about to fall into the sea, he waved his hand back, and countless silk threads intersected, holding his body above the sea. Shadow Night String. 5-color strings. Doflamingo's countless white threads turned into a figure that was indistinguishable from Doflamingo. Then 5 colors of light flowed in Doflamingo's hands, and the two figures grabbed Levi at the same time. The auras of the two figures were exactly the same, and it was impossible to tell which one was real and which one was a puppet. If you can't tell the difference, just chop them all. Cut it in two. Levi swung his long sword and made a horizontal slash, and a semicircular slash followed Doflamingo and his puppet body. Boom. This was Levi's full blow. His sword intent exploded, and everything in the strike was destroyed. The strike stirred up huge waves in the sea. You lose, Doflamingo. Levi's long sword was placed on his neck. At this moment, Doflamingo's abdomen had been opened by Levi, and blood slowly flowed out from the wound. Doflamingo's fingers moved against his abdomen, and a thin silk thread was used to sew up his muscles and wounds. Doflamingo turned around and saw that his cadres had fallen on the boat completely black, leaving only 3 little girls who were frightened and cried in their arms. Friends, a new day, a new beginning. Send flowers and all kinds of votes. The author is working hard to code, and today is the 6th update. Chapter 38 3 Little Lolita, please give me flowers, collections and comments. Levi looked at the 3 little girls carefully, to be precise, 1 girl and 2 little Lolita. The eldest is a gentle girl with long wavy grass green hair. In her arms, she is tightly protecting a little Loli wearing a single-sided glasses. In front of them, a little girl in a maid uniform stared at him with tears in her eyes. What are your names? Tetsolo asked with a smile. Tetsolo asked while turning the gold ring on his right index finger. Since this guy got the ability of the golden fruit, his power has been strengthened. He has put on gold rings on all 10 of his fingers. It looks like full of nouveau riche vibes. My name is Monet. I am 17 years old this year, and this is my sister Sugar. I am 11 years old this year. The oldest girl said to Levi and others. At this moment, Monet and Sugar were extremely scared. They were residents of Mignon Island. The pirates who came to trade with Op fruit brutally massacred Mignon in order to ensure the confidentiality of their whereabouts. The residents of the island were later rescued by the Doflamingo family. Before Doflamingo returned to land, they were snatched back by Levi. From today on, you will follow me, Levi, and I will protect you. Levi slapped his chest loudly. Don't even think about it. I'm from the Doflamingo family. I won't follow you. I'm not a traitor like Luo, Baby 5 said righteously. After saying that, she was still not relieved. She trotted up to Luo and kicked Luo gently. When he saw Luo's ferocious eyes, she was frightened and cried. Then she hid behind Monet, weeping secretly behind my back. Your name is Baby 5, right? Levi said with a smile. Your young master gave you to me in order to survive, and I just need someone to serve tea and make the bed. Do you understand? At this moment, Levi is like the wolf grandma coaxing Little Red Riding Hood. Am I needed? Baby 5's face turned red. I understand, Baby 5 has met the young master. Baby 5 saluted Levi. What did you understand? We didn't understand anything. Tetsolo and Enel yelled crazily beside them. Levi looked at the 170-meter-tall Baby 5 in front of him. He had to say that the girls in the One Piece world were developing really well. At only 13 years old, they were already comparable to the girls in their 20s in Levi's previous life, and in some places they were even better, more, than them. Monet and Sugar have met their master. Naomi Baby 5 had already surrendered, and she led her sister to bow down to Levi with a wink. Okay, since everyone is working with me, I can't treat you badly. If you want anything, it can be considered as a meeting gift from me. Also, from now on, you will call me boss. Levi saw 3 girls, they all surrendered to him, so he spoke very generously. Boss, I want 40 million Baileys, Baby 5 said crisply. Why does a kid want so much money? Tetsolo threatened fiercely. Baby 5's big eyes were filled with tears again, and she hid behind Monet and cried without saying a word. This idiot will never refuse others. Whether it is borrowing money, insurance or being promoted, he will accept it because he is needed. Therefore, this idiot has now bought more than 100 insurance policies, subscribed to more than 100 newspapers, and owes IO a debt of 40 million yuan. Luo told the truth about the money owed by Baby 5 without mercy. I'll give you 100 million. Levi gently touched Baby 5's little head and said. Really, thank you, boss. You're so kind, boss. Baby 5 happily hugged Levi's arm and shook it, like a kitten who got a beloved toy. What do you want? Levi turned to the Monet sisters and said. We want to become demon fruit power. Monet said softly. She knows the value of devil fruit. She knows the value of devil fruit. Devil fruit is the foundation of a person's rapid strength. She hates her own weakness, and she wants to protect her sister. Demon fruit power. Levi was startled for a moment, and then he was relieved. The Monet sisters only ate devil fruit after Doflamingo brought it back to the family. Now they haven't returned to Doflamingo territory, so they haven't become demon fruit power yet. Friends, today's data has not changed. Please vote if you have the votes. Your support is the author's biggest motivation. The author begs for help and thanks. Chapter 39 Snow Fruit and Childlike Fruit. Please ask for flowers, collection, and comments. Boss, didn't we have 2 devil fruits when we plundered the heavenly gold last time? How about? Tesoro whispered into Levi's ear. Levi remembered that he had a devil fruit from Logia and a devil fruit from Paramecia. Then Levi suddenly shuddered. Tesolo, bring those 2 devil fruits, and bring the devil fruit illustrated book as well, Levi said to Tesolo. Sure enough, it's snow fruit and childlike fruit. Is this the inertia of the plot? Levi felt as if everything was controlled by an invisible hand. It's useless to think too much. Levi placed both fruits in front of the Monet sisters and let them make their own choices. This is Logia's snow fruit, and this is Paramecia's childlike fruit. Now make your choice. Levi has told them all about the fruit's abilities, and now Levi is waiting for their sister's choice. Boss, I choose Logia's snow fruit, Monet said firmly. Oh, why did you choose this fruit? Levi asked curiously. With great power comes great responsibility. Isn't Logia's devil fruit known as the strongest devil fruit? I am willing to do anything for you, boss, including my sister's share, just to make my sister smile behind my back. Live? Monet gently stroked Sugar's head and said to Levi. What an amazing girl, Tetsolo exclaimed. This was the first time he had seen a girl with such awareness. Levi looked at Monet and said, now that you have made your choice, just eat them. Vomit. Vomit. Accompanied by 2 sounds of retching, Monet and Sugar lay on the side of the ship with ugly expressions. It tastes terrible, just like shit, Monet and Sugar said at the same time. Tesoro laughed on the sidelines, and he recalled the time when he ate the golden fruit. The situation at that time was the same as now. Okay, you are already demon fruit power. Show off your devil fruit abilities. Levi kicked the devil fruit they had only taken a bite into the sea. Boss, didn't you say you have to eat all the devil fruit? What? Tetsolo had a very bad feeling in his heart. What an idiot. Everyone knows that devil fruit can inherit all its power after just 1 bite. Luo came to the side with a magic finishing blow. Boss, you actually lied to me. Tetsolo suddenly felt darkness in front of his eyes. Sister Monet, you must feel uncomfortable just after eating devil fruit. I made some black tea, let's all have a drink. Baby 5 came out with a plate. Where did you get the black tea? Levi asked in confusion. It's in the kitchen. It's the first time I've seen such a big kitchen, and it's so complete, Baby 5 said with a smile. What? We actually still have supplies. Levi always thought that they were leaving in a hurry and there were no supplies on the ship. They had already eaten grilled fish for several days. Tom purchased this for us. He knew that we were going to travel far, so he prepared all the supplies in the 7 water capitals, Tetsolo explained. After drinking black tea, Monet and Sugar looked much better, and then the 2 of them stood in front of Levi. Let's take a look at my snow fruit ability first. After Monet said, her whole body turned into a shadow made entirely of blizzards, and then a pair of huge ones made entirely of blizzards appeared behind Monet. With her wings, She flew slowly around the big ship, and then the heavy snow fell from the sky. The scene looked very beautiful. Okay, next is Granu's ability. Levi looked at Granu. Sugar casually picked up a teacup, and then under everyone's shocked eyes, the teacup turned into a Barbie doll wearing a floral skirt. This ability seems very interesting. We can turn waste products into toys, and then we can make money. Looking at the doll Tezzolo turned out of sugar, he couldn't help laughing. Under the influence of the golden fruit, the current Tezzolo Luo now has an almost paranoid interest in making money. I can turn everything I touch into a toy, including everything living and inanimate, Sugar said timidly. Now she is a little girl of only 11 years old and her baby is very small. Nonsense, come and see if I can turn this god into a toy. Enel glanced at Granu with a look of disdain on his face. Everything I said is true. If you don't believe me, give me your hand, Sugar said angrily. Under everyone's nervous gazes, a big hand and a small hand slowly held each other. The moment they held it, Enel instantly turned into a toy with a drum on its back. Friends, the author once again begs for a wave of flowers and tickets. 1 or 2 flowers is never too few, and 100 or 1,000 flowers is never too many. If you have flowers, evaluation tickets, and monthly tickets, please give me a reward. The author kneels down please, thank you. Chapter 40 Luo's Arrangement, please ask for flowers, collection, comments. The moment Enel turned into a toy, Levi instantly lost all memories of Enel. He only remembered that he wanted to see Sugar's ability, and then he saw a toy in front of him jumping up and down. He saw that the toy was it looks familiar, but I can't remember where I've seen it before. What a great ability. Levi praised Sugar. When Sugar heard Levi praising her, she immediately became happy. Then she pointed her finger at the toy in front of her, and the toy changed back to Enel. It's just that at this moment, Enel's eyes were full of fear when he looked at Sugar. He never imagined that this world would have such a pervert ability, able to ignore the gap in strength and forcefully follow the rules of devil fruit. Fortunately, Levi was prepared. Tezzolo, Luo, and Monet looked at Sugar with fear. At the moment when Enel turned into a toy, they found that they had lost all their memories of Enel, just like this people are erased from this world out of thin air. Sugar will be our secret weapon in the future, Levi said seriously to the others. Uncle gives you a gift. Tezzolo grabbed the side of the ship with both hands, and then a small golden crown made entirely of gold appeared in front of everyone. What a beautiful crown, thank you uncle. Sugar happily took the crown from Tezzolo's hand and put it on her head. Sister, do I look good? Su Tang happily turned around in a circle and asked her sister. Grand Sugar is the most beautiful. Monet looked at Sugar with a complex look. She originally wanted to take away all the darkness, but now it seems that Sugar has a greater effect than her. Monet, you will be my personal secretary from now on, Levi said looking at the gentle girl in front of him. Monet's quiet personality was perfect for being a secretary. Enel, change the route. Instead of going to Askar Island, we will go to the Drum Kingdom first, Levi said to Enel. Levi originally planned to go to Askar Island to look for the 7-star sword. Now that their location is not far from the Drum Kingdom, Levi decided to send Luo to learn medical skills first, although Luo had some superficial lessons with his father when he was young. He has great medical skills, but his medical skills are far from satisfactory. The Drum Kingdom is the place with the most advanced medical skills in the world, and on this island there is Dr. Kulea, who has the world's top medical skills, living in seclusion there. She is Chopper's teacher, and she is over 100 years old. She likes drinking and drinking. Pickled plums. Levi planned to let Luo study medical skills with her for a period of time. Okay, now we all go to the fighting room for retreat. Seeing that it was still early, Levi decided to teach the new little guys. A few people were crying and howling, and Levi launched a hellish special training for them. Soon, they had sailed to the border of the Drum Kingdom. Luo, this is Marine 6 Styles and Hockey's practice manual. I have recorded them here. Whether you can learn medical skills from Karina depends on your ability. You practice here for 2 years, and I will come when the time comes. Pick you up. Our goal is to be the top group of people on the sea, so we have to do the most difficult training. Levi taught Luo earnestly. Boss Levi, I will never forget your teachings. Luo was crying with tears streaming down his face. Although he didn't get along with Lee for a long time, he felt the first love in Levi besides Corazon, secondary warmth. Boss Levi, don't worry, I will become the most skilled doctor in the Drum Kingdom, I promise. Luo kowtowed several times to the golden ship going away, and then he walked through the wind and snow without looking back, heading towards the Drum Kingdom. Boss, can this kid do it? After all, he is only a 13-year-old kid. Tetzolo questioned Levi as he watched Luo go away. Don't worry, I've never seen someone wrong. Levi replied and then shouted loudly into the cabin. Monet, baby 5, isn't lunch ready yet? I'm starving to death. At this moment, Levi is in a huge restaurant. The huge crystal chandelier reflects the beauty of this hall made entirely of gold. I have to say that Tom's taste is really good. Several works of art bring out the original luxuriant atmosphere. The heavy hall became elegant. The food is ready, please use it, Baby 5 said to them with a huge dinner plate in his arms. Baby 5 is so good at your crafts. You are so good, Tetzolo said vaguely to her with his mouth full of food. Are you needed again? I'm so happy. Baby Five's face turned red. It seems necessary to recruit a chef. Looking at Baby Five and Monet who were busy, Levi thought. Friends, the data on flowers, evaluation tickets, and monthly tickets are a bit bleak. Please support me if you have tickets. Thank you. The author is still working hard on coding. Chapter 41 Aska Island. Please ask for flowers, collections, comments. Aska Island is one of the islands with a long history in the world of One Piece. It has a history of at least several thousand years. On a red full moon night, the three princes of Askar met a beautiful witch and fell in love with her at the same time. In order to win her favor, the three princes took out the seven-star sword that proved the throne and started war. Countless citizens were involved in the war, and the earth and ocean wept as they absorbed the sorrow and resentment of countless innocent people. Then, the seven-star sword absorbed the resentment and blood of countless people, causing killing and destruction, and turned into a cursed demon sword, causing the complete destruction of the Askar kingdom. The cursed demon sword caused battles again and again in the form of blood sacrifices. The war spread throughout the sea area, and the beautiful sea became a world ruled by darkness. Then, in order to save everyone from the war, the Miko sacrificed her life to eliminate the blood and hatred absorbed by the seven-star sword. In order to repay the death of their beloved Miko, the three princes prayed to the gods and received 3 gems from the gods of Aska, which sealed the power of the seven-star sword into a demon sword. Levi's deep voice slowly told the story about the seven-star sword. At this moment, Sugar was so frightened that she shrank into Monet's arms, while Baby Five's big eyes flickered, obviously very excited. What's next? Baby Five is still interested. It seems that this girl likes to listen to horror movies. Ahead is Aska Island. Levi suddenly heard Enel's words in the cabin, so he left the 3 little girls and walked out. Levi stood on the bow of the boat and looked into the distance, and saw a flash of green appearing in front of Levi. Our ship is too big. If we forcefully approach the island, there is a risk of running aground, Enel said next to him. Okay, you just stay here, I'll come as soon as I can. After Levi finished speaking, he was about to fly to Aska Island. Boss, we have been on the boat for almost a month, and we also want to go out for some air. Baby Five begged behind Levi. Okay then, just go down and take a look around. Levi thought for a moment. Although there is a marine base here, there doesn't seem to be any masters in marine. You go ahead, I'll guard the boat here. Enel lay lazily on the beach chair, then he brought a bright red apple to his mouth, chewed it for a while, and closed his eyes with satisfaction. This is the highest state of life. It's so comfortable to bask in the sun, what's the point of running around? Tetsolo ignored Enel. He separated a golden yacht from the golden ship. He took 3 little girls and headed towards the market here. Levi walked directly towards the back of Aska Island on the moonwalk. The scenery here is extremely beautiful, with rugged rocks densely dotted among the emerald green woods. A gust of sea breeze blew by, as if floating on the emerald green sea waves. Levi originally wanted to find the cave where the seven-star sword was sealed, take the sword away, and go to East Blue, but the woods here were too dense and he couldn't see the direction clearly. Looking at the beautiful scenery in front of him, Levi's originally impatient mood slowly calmed down. He discovered that Levi had been running around ever since he came out of 9 snakes. In this forest, Levi's mood found a long-lost peace. Levi walked casually along the tree-lined path made by wild beasts. There were a few monkeys in the trees that kept following Levi and kept chirping. Apparently they were very curious about the uninvited guest in front of them. The mountains here are high and the forests are dense. Weeds as tall as 1 person and large trees hugged by several people form a natural separation wall. Levi continues to move along the dense forest. Suddenly, a clear and deep beach appears in front of Levi. What a beautiful scenery. Levi happily walked to the pool and looked at the scenery in front of him quietly. The water in front of him was extremely clear, and the colorful fish in it seemed to be suspended in the sky. There seems to be something strange in there. Levi's eyes widened when he saw the scene in the pool. In the pool, there was a graceful figure with long blue hair playing with the fish. When Levi first saw her, she happened to spot Levi. Then her movements became obviously panicked. What did you see? The beauty was wearing a tight long dress. At this moment, she glanced at Levi with blushing cheeks and turned around, not daring to look at Levi again. I didn't see anything. Levi stared at the sky, afraid to look at this beautiful woman. How come you were here, stranger? The beauty asked. My name is Levi. I accidentally got lost while walking in the forest. Levi scratched his head and said sheepishly. My name is Maya. The beauty replied, readers, if you have flowers and evaluation votes, please vote. Thank you. Chapter 42. Cute and silly Maya, please give me flowers, collections and comments. Maya. The new generation of witches who guard the seven-star sword? It's so effortless to get through the iron shoes and find nowhere. Levi was overjoyed. I came here to find the seven-star sword. Do you know where it is? Levi asked Maya directly. The seven-star sword is a demon sword. It represents ominousness. Anyone who comes close to that sword will become its slave. It will bring endless disasters to the world. You should not take any chances with it. Maya said, staring closely into Levi's eyes with her clear eyes. Maya's eyes are extremely pure, looking like a deer in the forest. Levi knows that Maya is telling the truth, but Levi is absolutely sure that it will not cause harm to him. How do you know so much? Levi asked curiously. I am from a clan of witches who have guarded the 7-star sword for generations. You can never take away the 7-star sword. At this time, Maya's little face was full of seriousness. Levi looked at this innocent girl and sighed secretly. This girl felt like a stupid roe deer, and Levi was embarrassed to lie to her. The 7-star sword is in the cave in the center of your village, right? Levi asked. According to the plot of One Piece, it seems that the 7-star sword is in the cave above the altar in the center of the village. How do you know? Maya's face turned pale at this moment, obviously acquiescing to Levi's guess. Levi looked at the village ahead, which was hidden by the woods. Maya's expression changed drastically when she saw this, and she ran toward the village with her long legs. Everyone, be careful, there are pirates coming to rob the 7-star sword again. Maya exclaimed in panic as she ran towards the village. The young people in the village were all alarmed. Levi followed Maya slowly towards the village. With this silly girl taking the lead, Levi arrived at the village without any detours. This village is very small, with no more than 100 people at most, and there are stone statues carved with beautiful women everywhere in their village. This must be the witch who sealed the 7-star sword at that time. Stop, the 7-star sword cannot be born, you villain, give up on this idea. In front of Maya, an old lady on crutches said righteously to Levi. Another pirate comes to seize the 7-star sword. Leave quickly, you are not welcome here. At this moment, the residents were holding various farm tools and surrounded Levi. Every year, some unknown pirates come here looking for the 7-star sword, but they are all beaten back in the end. It's so noisy. Levi blocked his ears with his left hand, and then directed his conqueror's hockey towards the villagers. The villagers fell to the ground one after another, leaving only Maya and the old woman. You killed them? There was no blood on Maya's face. There had been many waves of pirates, but this was the first time she had seen a strong man like Levi. They are not dead, they just fainted. Levi glanced at Maya, and then he walked towards the center of the altar. Levi walked towards the dark stone room step by step. His figure was swallowed bit by bit by the darkness in front of him, and finally his figure disappeared completely. Maya, go get the sealing jade quickly. Something big is going to happen. When the old woman saw Levi entering the stone room, she hurriedly said to Maya. Putting aside Maya running to get the jade, Levi walked into the cave. With the faint light, he could see that there was a sarcophagus in the center of the cave. This is where the 7-star sword is sealed. Levi opened the big bag he was carrying and poured it on top of the sarcophagus. This was a necessary process to obtain the 7-star sword. Levi specially went to slaughter a sea kings. Only blood can awaken the 7-star sword. A powerful swordsman cannot live without a famous sword, just like Hawkeye's black sword and Golden Lion's Soccer Jew in Deadwood. As a great swordsman, a famous sword is standard. With the injection of blood, the sarcophagus began to slowly open, and then green light illuminated the stone chamber. Levi looked at the sword in fascination. It was an ultimate beautiful sword. This is the only double-edged sword among the famous swords. Levi grasped the hilt of the 7-star sword without hesitation. When Levi held the hilt of the 7-star sword, the 7-star sword began to tremble. The 7-star sword was unwilling to be controlled by others and was constantly struggling. Quiet down. Levi's conqueror's hockey pressed against the 7-star sword. With the injection of conqueror's hockey, the 7-star sword slowly became quiet. Maya held 3 orbs in her hand and stared nervously at the cave in front of her. As the sound of footsteps approached, the 3 orbs in her hand became tighter. Seal up. Maya made a seal in her hand, and 3 orbs flew towards the entrance of the cave. In an instant, a 3-color light barrier appeared at the entrance of the cave. What the hell is this? Levi's observation hockey didn't feel the danger, so his hand passed through the entire barrier, and then his whole body passed through the light curtain. How is this possible? Maya and the old woman both opened their mouths. There is only one possibility for this situation, and that is that this young man actually surrendered to the 7-star sword. This has never happened in history. The 6th update today. It's evening. Friends who still have flowers and evaluation votes can send them to me. The author really needs these things to support me. Thank you. Chapter 43. Shanks with a billion bounty. Please give me flowers, collections, comments. You actually surrendered to the 7-star sword. Maya and the old woman swallowed hard. Levi glanced at these 2 ignorant guys and said to Maya, if anyone comes here looking for the 7-star sword in the future, tell them that the 7-star sword has been taken away by me, Levi. If anyone wants it, let me know, they come to me. After saying that, Levi stepped on the moonwalk and headed towards the ship. Now that things on the new route have come to an end, it's time to go to East Blue for business. Target East Blue, let's go. The 7-star sword in Levi's hand pointed forward, and then thunder and lightning burst out from Enel's body. The huge blades of the golden ship rotated, and its entire hull turned into a golden stream of light and went away into the distance. Marine Headquarters, Mariejois. Sengoku lost his temper in the office again, because recently there's a rising pirate star. This pirate is different from Moria, Crocodile and others. This person is a crew member on the ship of Pirate King Roger. Just because of the name of Roger the Pirate King, this person has gained the attention of all Marines. He is the red-haired Shanks who is making a splash in East Blue. After learning that Shanks was a crew member of Roger the Pirate King, Sengoku gathered all the Marine forces of East Blue plus 5 vice-admirals from the New World headquarters to try to stifle the evil in East Blue. Eventually, Shanks was stuck in East Blue Logue Town. Just when Sengoku thought the situation was decided, bad news came. The large fleet that gathered all the strength of East Blue was defeated by a red-haired ship, and all 5 vice-admirals were defeated. Shanks crossed the upside-down mountain and came to the New World. When Sengoku was worried about how to deal with Shanks, shocking news came from the Marine in Shuangxia, saying that the red-haired Shanks was blocked on the waterway where the east, west, north, and south meet. The pirate ship and Marine's ship were all sunk. Shanks threatened that no pirate ship flying the pirate flag would be allowed to travel to the upside-down mountain. Pirates are a group of lawless people. As soon as Shanks said this, pirates all over the world immediately became excited. Countless pirates are heading towards upside-down mountain, all trying to take Shanks' head so that their fame can be heard throughout the sea. One pirate group after another was destroyed in front of Shanks. Although Shanks only had one ship, he was like an iron wall that completely cut off the entire Grand Line from the 4 seas. Marine also sent large armies for several sieges, but they were all sunk by Shanks. The gunners on Shanks' ship were so powerful that they were exploded one by Shanks' crew before they even got close. Afterwards, the red-haired man's name suddenly emerged, and his reputation instantly surpassed that of Levi, who robbed the gold from the sky, and became the most popular figure among pirates recently. Should a pirate who has just left the sea ask our headquarters to send Admiral to encircle and suppress him? Sengoku yelled angrily. First it was Rox, then Roger, the Pirate King. After Roger's death, there were Golden Lion, Whitebeard, Kaido and Charlotte Linlin. Now we have ushered in the era of great pirates, with the rise of new pirate stars such as Hawkeye, Crocodile, Moria, and now Levi. And powerful pirates like Shanks. And what about us? Sengoku began to breathe heavily. What about our Marine? Since Garp and I retired, except for the 3 admirals of Marine, there has not been a supernova in our Marine. Why is this? Think about it. Why? Sengoku looked at the current Marine 3 admiral. This incarnation of evil must be eliminated. I will go to Upside Down Mountain tomorrow to completely eliminate the red-haired gang. Akainu said while pressing the brim of his hat. Charlotte Linlin is holding a tea party now, and Kaido is also making trouble now. We also have to guard against the Revolutionary Army. How do you get away? Kizaru said lazily to Akainu. His words immediately silenced the Marine executives present. They regretted the execution of Roger in East Blue. Marine greatly underestimated the enthusiasm for people in the Great Pirate Era, so that after the pirates swarmed into the sea, Marine's military strength was simply stretched. New pirate stars appeared one after another, but there was no one like the Marine hero Garp among the Marines. Garp, I have to trouble you to go to East Blue. Sengoku looked at Garp who was fighting Senbei. East Blue's Marine has been completely defeated. Now East Blue is in urgent need of someone with strength and means to stabilize East Blue's situation, and Garp is the most suitable person. Okay, I'll leave tomorrow. Garp stuffed all the Senbei in his mouth and told Sengoku. Although Garp looks unreliable, Garp never fails at critical moments. Issuing a reward for red hair with a bounty of 1 billion Baileys. As a pirate with such a bounty in his debut, the red-haired man was immediately remembered by all the pirates and listed as a being that should not be messed with. Friends, it's another new day. Let's vote for flowers and comments. The data is not ideal. The author is begging for everything. There are still 6 updates today. Chapter 44. The Arrogant Red Hair, please give me flowers, collections and comments. Boss, another supernova has risen in the pirate world recently, and your limelight has been completely overshadowed. Tetsuo handed Levi a reward order. Levi was lying leisurely on the beach chair and basking in the sun next to him. Monet was constantly making light snow to cool them down. There was a small table next to them with a glass of ice-cold wine on the table. Levi took the reward order from Tetsuo's hand, and it read red-haired Shanks, with a reward of 1 billion belly, for the most heinous crime, regardless of life or death. On the bounty notice was a picture of a red-haired man wearing a straw hat named Roger, the Pirate King. Shanks on the picture smiled very gently, and there was no clue that this was a big pirate with a bounty of over 1 billion. This red-haired Shanks shouldn't be a few years older than the boss, right? Tesoro looked at Shanks' young face with emotion. Yeah, now Shanks has blocked Upside Down Mountain, and if we want to go to East Blue, we have to go to Upside Down Mountain. A battle is inevitable, Levi said lazily. After that, Levi stopped talking. He was enjoying himself with peace of mind. Massage with Baby 5. At that time, it was a wise choice to take these 3 little girls under his command. Not only did they have someone to chat with to relieve their boredom, but they also had someone to clean up the ship. The most important thing is that there are people to cook for them. Toy number 1. Get me another bottle of wine. Levi drank the ice-cold red wine in the glass, and a big burp made him feel relieved. Afterwards, a toy man who was 1/3 as tall as a man walked towards Levi with a bottle of wine in hand. These were the pirates Levi defeated on the road. These pirates were all coveting his golden ship, and in the end they were all turned into toys by Sugar. In the midst of peace, Levi's big ship slowly approached the upside-down mountain. Grand Line, Twin Gorges. At this moment, due to the fierce battle for nearly half a year, the huge island whale Laboon has temporarily left here. At this moment, there is only one red dragon-headed pirate ship in the entire sky current. This is the Red Hair Pirates' pirate ship Red Force. At this moment, Red Force was surrounded by broken warship fragments. Fortunately, the sea currents here were strong, and the warships they sunk were all washed away by the currents. Cheers to this great victory! The red-haired man took the lead in raising his glass, and the other pirates also raised their glasses and clinked their glasses with the red-haired man. Amidst the flying wine foam, the wine in their hands was drank down in one gulp. Captain, I've had so much fun fighting in the past 6 months. After beating the pirates and marines, they lost all temper. Lucky Lou said inarticulately while biting a chicken leg. At this moment, Usopp suddenly looked up at the sky and saw a newsbird coming towards the red-haired pirate ship. Here is a newspaper. Usopp handed 50 Baileys to Newsbird, and then a thick newspaper was handed to Usopp. Today's newspaper is a bit thick, Usopp muttered as he picked up the newspaper. After that, he saw the news about their red hair pirates on the front page of the newspaper, and at the back of the newspaper, there was a reward order for all the pirates in the red hair pirates. Except for the red-haired one who had an exaggerated 1 billion Baileys, the other pirates all had bounties of over 100 million. Haha, brothers, we are completely famous, Usopp shouted happily, and then the newspaper was circulated to everyone. Beckman, your plan is correct. Sure enough, as soon as we went to sea, our bounty became the highest among all pirate groups. The red-haired man looked at the bounty order for a while, and then he laughed happily. The atmosphere of the banquet on the ship has once again reached a new level because of this reward order. Of course, no matter how strong the pirates are, they all avoid Marine. We are the first to fight Marine with real swords and guns. Ben Beckman said calmly after taking a sip of wine. Cheers for everyone to become a big pirate with a bounty of over 100 million. The red-haired girl picked up the wineglass and drank it down with a red face. Then all the pirates responded enthusiastically, and they all drank all the wine in one gulp. Captain, when are we going to dominate the Grand Line and compete for the position of 4 emperors? Usopp asked everyone's most relevant question. Although it was fun to fight for days, these opponents were a bit too weak. They all want to find some more powerful opponents. Wait. Ben Beckman uttered one word and then said simply, we have to wait for a strong enough opponent, whether it is a marine or a pirate. Our captain also needs a battle to become famous. The battle for fame. All the pirates are chewing on this sentence. Although they don't know what it means, they just listen to Beckman. Beckman has never made mistakes. I think our opponent is here. Usopp tightened his cloak and stood up. After that, all the members of Red Hair Pirates stood up and looked in Usopp's direction. This is the second update. In addition, I am asking for a wave of perfect reviews, flowers, rewards and monthly votes. The author is working hard to write the words, please support me. Chapter 45 Levi's Shanks, asking for flowers, collections, comments. The moment Red Hair Pirates felt Levi, Levi felt the breath of Red Hair Pirates. Levi and Shanks' eyes collided with each other, sparking countless sparks. Boom! Levi and Shanks released Conqueror's Haki at the same time. The two Conqueror's Haki collided, and all the white clouds within a radius of thousands of miles were swept away. What an amazing Conqueror's Haki! Everyone was shocked by their Conqueror's Haki. The captains of both of them have the cultivation of Conqueror's Haki, which is rare in the world. It is also the first time for them to see Conqueror's Haki who can compete with them. Levi, Shanks. They all greeted each other, and then the red-haired man suddenly laughed. This is the first time I have seen someone who can compete with me. Both each other. Levi agreed. We're having a party, shall we? Shanks initiated the invitation. This was the first time Levi had seen a person like Shanks who had such a crazy way of thinking, but he liked making friends with such a generous person. Then excuse me. Levi said with a smile. Shanks put his shoulder on Levi's shoulder, then Shanks hugged Levi and turned around and said loudly, let's continue the party. Later, Levi, Enel, and Tetsolo also joined the carnival. Because Shanks' boat was small, Levi invited Shanks and others to hold a banquet on Levi's boat. As soon as they boarded the ship, they were shocked by Levi's ship. This is actually a ship made of pure gold. Usopp and others were shocked by Levi's majestic aura. With this gold ship, if they sold it, they could exchange it for several countries. So the first banquet was finally held in Levi's luxurious restaurant. Only then did Levi learn that the fat man, Lucky Lou, was the chef of Red Hair Pirates. Under Lucky Lou, the 18 kitchen utensils in Levi's kitchen finally came into use. One after another exquisite dishes were served, and then Tetsolo sang a song with a golden microphone, bringing the entire banquet to a climax. When Usopp learned that the cute baby 5 was Levi's sniper, he enthusiastically competed with her in shooting skills. The result was naturally that baby 5 lost completely. So Usopp passed on some of his insights to baby 5, and the little girl burst into laughter. The next day, Levi came to the deck rubbing his swollen brows. Generally speaking, existences like Levi with a body comparable to monsters are almost always drunk. They were so happy yesterday that they didn't know why. I feel like I drank too much. Morning. Shanks was already doing exercises on the deck. Levi, you are also a swordsman. Shanks looked at the 7-star sword behind Levi. He could feel that the 7-star sword behind Levi was also a griffin's famous sword with a grade no lower than his. Levi shouldn't be a weakling with such a powerful conqueror's hockey. Let's compare. Levi looked at Shanks, only to find that Shanks was also full of fighting spirit. The two looked at each other and flew towards a small island in the distance. It was said to be a small island, but it was also a small island with a radius of less than 100 meters. The two stood opposite each other, and then Levi pulled out the 7-star sword. A very beautiful sword. It is beautiful and dangerous, Shanks admired. Then his sword was unsheathed. Cut. The two of them let out a loud shout, and then they launched a slash at the same time. This is the etiquette between swordsmen of the same level. They abandon some cumbersome swordsmanship and directly compete in the realm of swordsmanship. Boom. The slashes from the two swordsmen collided, and the whole sea suddenly changed color. Boundless huge waves were stirred up by them, and finally the waves turned into tsunamis and headed into the distance. The two of them fought. The members of the two pirate groups were awakened by the momentum of their fight. They stood on the deck and watched the captain's battle from a distance. Levi's eyes narrowed slightly. He had already exerted 80% of his strength, but he still couldn't surrender Shanks. Levi could tell that Shanks didn't exert his full strength either. Levi relied on the system to achieve such strength in a short period of time, but Shanks only relied on his own hard work, and he didn't even eat devil fruit. This is the legendary son of the plane. Shanks, one strike will determine the outcome, Levi said to Shanks, and then the 7-star sword blazed brightly, and a dark green slash headed towards Shanks. I think so too. Shanks laughed, and then a white-hot slash also went towards Levi's slash. At the moment when the two slashes collided, everyone watching the battle felt that their eyes were blind, and the blazing light covered everything around them. When the light dissipated, everyone was shocked to find that the island where Levi and Shanks were standing had disappeared, and the two of them were already standing in the air. Then the two of them started laughing again, like two madmen. Thank you Liaoda123 for your monthly vote. The author is very touched. The author is still working hard on coding, so I beg you, thank you. Chapter 46 Logue Town, asking for flowers, collections, comments. Levi, I'm waiting for you in New World. Shanks's pirate group gradually faded away, and Shanks's voice also drifted away in the wind. Boss, who won? Tetsulo asked curiously. They are both supernovas with $1 billion bounty in the pirate world, and they are both swordsmen. Their victory or defeat is of great significance. Shanks didn't win, and I didn't lose either, Levi said quietly, looking at Shanks walking away. For masters of their strength, unless they fight to the death, it would be difficult to tell the winner. Okay, let's go to East Blue Logue Town first. This is the place where Roger, the Pirate King, was executed in the beginning of the Age of Discovery. Let's go and pay our respects to the Pirate King, Levi said to Enel. Is this the Upside Down Mountain? It's so spectacular. The people on Levi's boat are all people who hang out in the Grand Line. This is the first time for them to see this scene. A mountain that was too high to reach its top appeared in front of them. This mountain cut off the entire ocean like a giant dam, leaving only a wide waterway surging. All water in the world flows downwards, but the water here flows upwards. In addition, the direction of the water flow here changes once every 6 months, so this place is named Upside Down Mountain. Because Shanks intercepted and killed pirates, Levi stayed here for 2 days without seeing a single pirate ship pass by, and the entire Upside Down Mountain was deserted. What an amazing sight! Everyone stood on the bow of the boat and said in surprise. There's nothing surprising about this. You won't find it strange after walking to the Upside Down Mountain a few more times. While everyone was marveling, Baby 5 interrupted with an old-fashioned tone. At this moment, this little girl was holding a gun and practicing aiming. After a fight with red hair pirate sniper Usopp, she realized that her weapon fruit was in the wrong direction. Weapons are for people to use, not people turned into weapons. After that, she started to practice basic skills according to the method Usopp taught her. A sniper must be able to hold his gun steadily no matter what the environment is. This is the most important thing. Levi was very pleased to see Baby 5 training hard there. In fact, Levi was not planning to train Baby 5 to be a sniper, but to train her to be a firepower. Because of the weapon fruit, Baby 5 is equivalent to carrying an arsenal with him, and Levi is also planning to awaken Baby 5's weapon fruit, and then let her create super concept weapons such as missiles and railguns. In that way, Baby 5 he has become a 4 Emperors level master. Ah, the Monet sisters let out a long scream, and their boat rocketed along Upside Down Mountain as if they were on a rocket. In the blink of an eye, they were between the clouds. Before they could catch their breath, they were rushing down the East Blue Waterway again, like they were on a roller coaster. What a mild weather. Have we arrived at East Blue? Granu squinted her eyes comfortably. Unlike New World, where the climate is constantly changing, the climate here is very mild, making Granu almost fall asleep. Enel glanced at the pointer. Now the direction of the permanent pointer is the same as that of the general pointer, which means that the magnetic field here is normal, and this is East Blue. Afterwards, their golden ship headed towards Logue Town. A big event happened in Logue Town today. A large gold ship made entirely of gold docked at the port of Logue Town. A lucky man at the port picked up a long nail. After that, he went to the jewelry store in Logue Town. Jewelry, the store said it was pure, impossibly pure gold, so he paid 3 million belly to buy it. As soon as the news came out, the entire Logue Town residents were excited, and they all flocked to see the big ship. They also want to make a fortune, and even if they can't make a fortune, they might as well take a look at this big ship. After all, they have never seen a pure gold ship in their entire lives. Is this your prank again, Tesororo? Levi asked. Tetsolo often used this method to tease Baby 5 on the boat, but it was unexpected that he would now use this method on the residents of Logue Town. At this moment, Levi is taking all his subordinates to visit Logue Town. They have been wandering on the sea for a long time. Logue Town is also the largest town in East Blue. Several girls went to the clothing store excitedly, and each of them bought several sets of clothes. Levi's ship is huge, each of them has a room of more than 100 square meters, and each of them has a huge cloakroom. So now these little girls seem to be on a rampage, shopping and buying along the whole street. They were happy. The Marine who was stationed in Logue Town was going crazy. No one in the entire Marine knew Levi's golden ship. He was the only one who dared to plunder the gold from the sky and was still alive and well. 1. The last time the red-haired man and Marine went to war, the captain who was stationed in Logue Town was still lying in the hospital. Now his adjutant was in charge. When he learned that a big pirate with a bounty of 1 billion had arrived in Logue Town, he hurriedly reported to Sengoku. Friends, I am not in a good state today, so my post is a little slow, I apologize. Finally, I would like to ask for a wave of flowers, evaluation votes, monthly votes and rewards. The author begs on my knees. Chapter 47 Logue Town and Eric. What? Levi is in Logue Town now? Didn't the red-haired gang blockade Upside Down Mountain? How did they get there? Sengoku yelled angrily there. Now Sengoku is almost crazy busy. First, Charlotte Linlin was holding a tea party, and her pirates were plundering supplies everywhere. Later, the madman Kaido kept provoking Marine to commit suicide, and according to the intelligence from the spy force, Golden Lion seemed to be brewing some conspiracy. The pirates throughout the New World have begun to fight, the sea has entered the most chaotic period, and Marine's strength is simply not enough. It seems like it's time to send a capable, backward Marine to garrison Logue Town. Sengoku couldn't help but think. Logue Town is of great significance to pirates. It is the place where Roger, the Pirate King, was executed in the starting point of the Great Pirate Era. Countless pirates will go here to pay tribute to Roger's spirit when they go to sea. Originally, Captain's strength was enough to suppress Logue Town. After all, East Blue is known as the weakest sea area because it is Garp's hometown. Every time Garp returns home from vacation, he will catch East Blue's popular sea area at sea. Thieves, so the pirates of East Blue are called the weakest in the world. But now the Great Pirate Era is getting more and more intense, and countless pirates from all over the world have flocked to Logue Town. The current captain is no longer strong enough. Now there are only 2 candidates for the new generation of Marine, one is Smoker and the other is Hina. They are both elites in the Zephyr training camp. Sengoku thought for a while, and finally decided to send Smoker to Logue Town. Let's go to the Pirate King's execution platform, Levi suggested, and then a group of people came to the center of the Logue Town square. This is the only square in Logue Town, and it is here that countless rising pirate stars witnessed the execution of Pirate King Roger. Hawkeye Mihawk, Gecko Moria, Doflamingo, Shanks, these pirates are all new generation pirates who have witnessed the execution of the Pirate King, and now they have become famous figures among pirates. Levi stood on the execution platform in Logue Town and thought a lot. It was a time of burning passion. Unfortunately, Levi traveled too late and did not see the style of Roger the Pirate King. He could only imagine based on these relics. Hey, that's Pirate King Roger's execution platform, and there seems to be a person on it. Marine on patrol saw it, and he hurriedly reported to his superiors. You're looking for death. That's a big pirate with $1 billion bounty, and he became famous earlier than the red-haired Shanks. The Marine officer scolded the recruit. You're blinded. There's no one there. A soldier next to him slapped the brim of the recruit's hat, and then they walked around the square and patrolled elsewhere. Although Logue Town is prosperous, it is not big. It took Levi and the others half a day to explore the place. Has everyone prepared all the supplies? Levi asked the others. After receiving confirmation from others, they set sail again. As their ship set sail, a young man with a green comb hair clenched his fist tightly in excitement. This is my idol. This is how a man should live. Levi didn't know that he had unknowingly gained a fanboy, and now he was on the road to find Breed again. There is a reason why the East Blue is known as the weakest sea area in the world. The current East Blue does not have a big gangster like the godfather of the West Blue, Kapung Bead, so there are no outstanding intelligence dealers here. If you want to find Breed Germany, now it is completely like looking for a needle in a haystack. Pirates in front of you, listen up. In front of you is the most powerful pirate hunter in East Blue, Eric the Whirlwind. Why don't you just surrender and capture him? An arrogant shout came. In front of Levi's ship, there was a 3-masted ship blocking their way. At this moment, the people on the ship were looking at Levi's golden ship full of greed. Among them, there was a thin man wearing gray clothes and a sickle head. Tornado Eric. Levi remembered. This guy was a Paramecia sickle fruit user. This guy was defeated by Luffy and others when they captured the East Blue Millennium Dragon's keel. Catch that, Eric. Levi said to Enel. Enel looked at Levi, a cold smile appeared on his lips, and then his figure turned into a bolt of lightning and disappeared on the ship. Are you Eric? Enel suddenly appeared in front of Enel. No one else on the boat noticed how Enel appeared. When Enel asked, they realized what was happening. A group of people pulled out knives and surrounded Enel. Our boss is a powerful demon fruit power, you guys just accept your death. One of Eric's younger brothers was pretending to be powerful. So you are Eric? Enel said, and then he unleashed his thunder on the others before they could answer. In a burst of lightning, Eric's younger brothers fell to the ground in darkness. Before Eric could react, Enel carried Eric back to the ship. Thanks to the boss Ishii-88 for the 3 monthly tickets and the boss with the last number 135, 4336. The author is very touched, and is still trying to code words. Finally, I again ask for flowers, evaluation votes, rewards, and monthly votes. Chapter 48. Whirlwind Eric, please ask for flowers, collections and comments. What do you want to do? I am the #1 bounty hunter in East Blue. Eric held his hands in front of him like a weak little girl. After hearing that there was a pirate ship made entirely of gold in East Blue, Eric hurriedly took his little brother to Logue Town. As the #1 bounty hunter in the East Blue, this title gave him unparalleled confidence. Ever since he got the sickle fruit, he was invincible in the East Blue. Sickle. Eric waved his hand and released a wind blade towards Enel, who wounded his younger brother. What? How is this possible? Eric was shocked. His wind blade hit Enel's body without any damage. This is no less a slash than a famous sword. The speed is okay, but the strength is too weak. Enel rubbed his arm and commented. Eric's attack actually didn't even scratch his skin. What a terrifying body this is, Eric said in shock. Boom. Eric flew in response, and Baby 5 slowly retracted her long legs. Seeing that Eric actually took the initiative to attack, Baby 5 took action to teach him a lesson. Damn it, you dare to hit the great Lord Eric. Eric stood up with a bruised nose and face. Boom. Eric was punched away by Baby 5 again. He was too weak, and neither Levi nor the others had the desire to take action. Damn it, don't slap me in the face. Stop fighting, I'm done with it, I'm done with it. Enel's small glasses were broken. Only then did Levi realize why he wore such strange glasses. This guy's eyes were really too small, not much bigger than a mung bean. Do you know there is a pirate named Breed? Levi asked. Who am I to answer your question? Eric looked arrogant. Answer me. Levi's expression became stern. Eric suddenly felt that Levi's aura in front of him had suddenly changed. Levi's aura, which originally looked kind, was suddenly more terrifying than East Blue's king of the offshore sea. I know the guy you are talking about. He is the captain of the Pet Beast Pirates. Although he said he is a pirate group, the entire pirate group except him are all animals. It is more like a circus. Eric he was so frightened that he couldn't help but tell everything he knew. Enel had a feeling in his heart that if he had answered, I don't know, just now, he would definitely die. Levi's eyes suddenly lit up. Yes, this guy is the person Levi is looking for. So, under the leadership of Eric, they set out to find Breed. Because that guy brought a group of beasts. Although the beasts listened to him, his strength was too weak. Although he said he was a pirate, he was at the bottom of the entire East Blue and didn't have a dime at all. The bounty. Along the way, Eric continued to show off his knowledge. There is no way, this group of guys is too scary, any one of them can beat Eric now. As an old man, he knows that only valuable people can survive, so he does his best along the way. Act as a guide. The village ahead is Shimotsuki village. There is a kendo dojo in this village. Many people in this village are swordsmen and are very difficult to mess with. So this village is definitely safe. We are happy to spend the night here tonight. Rick pointed to the village ahead and said. Koshiro. When Levi was watching anime in his previous life, this Koshiro had always been a mysterious man. He was Zoro's master. His strength had always been unfathomable, and his identity had always been mysterious. Some people said he was a member of the Revolutionary Army, some speculate that he is from Wano Kuni, and others say that he is a crew member of Roger, the Pirate King. Koshiro of Shimotsuki village is an amazing person, Levi said to everyone while looking at the sparkling Shimotsuki village in the distance. The identity of Koshiro is unknown, and Levi is not prepared to contact him. According to the report of my men, Breed will pass by Shimotsuki village tomorrow. We just need to wait for him here. Eric nodded and said to Levi. Levi glanced at Eric in surprise. He didn't expect that this guy was not bragging. This guy's intelligence network was indeed quite impressive. Looking at Eric in front of him, Levi had the idea of taking him as his subordinate. At about noon the next day, a shabby pirate ship slowly sailed in front of Shimotsuki village. The moment the pirate ship appeared, Eric's eyes suddenly lit up, and he pointed at the pirate ship. The ship's sail said, "That is Breed's pirate ship. Bring him here," Levi ordered. Enel's figure turned into a bolt of thunder and came to the ship in a flash, and then a fat man was brought to the ship by Enel. Logia demon fruit power, it's so terrifying. Eric sighed in his heart, and then he made a decision in his heart. The sixth update today. I finally didn't break my promise. It's already evening. If you still have flowers and evaluation votes left, please vote for the author. If you think this book is good, please vote for me and give me a reward. I beg you, the author, and thank you. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 49 Breed. Please ask for flowers, collection, comments. Who are you and what are you going to do? Breed asked in panic. It turned out that he was sailing smoothly on the sea, and suddenly he came to another ship in a trance, and each of these people seemed to be very difficult to mess with. Your name is Breed? Paramisha pet fruit capable person? Levi asked directly. Although this fat man didn't look much different from the one in the anime, it was better to ask clearly to be on the safe side. I am Breed. Sirs, what do you want to do? Breed asked tremblingly. The people in front of me looked extremely powerful, and all of them looked fierce. Bride, I'm here to help you realize your ideal. Haven't you always wanted to build an empire of docile animals? Levi looked at the fat man in front of him with a smile. Sir, you are joking. Those are all my drunken words and cannot be taken seriously. Breed felt that the Levi in front of him was as terrifying as a demon. No matter what Levi said, he would not answer Levi's words. Stop talking nonsense, let me ask you, how many animals can you control? Levi asked with a stern face. Sir, in principle, as long as the animals don't resist, the upper limit of my control is unlimited, Breed replied cautiously. No matter what the strength of the ferocious beast is, no matter how many ferocious beasts there are, you can control them? Tetsolo asked in surprise. This guy's fruit is just like Sugar's fruit, it's also a bug-like fruit. Sir, how can it be so easy? I have to use my ability to make a ring, and then I put my ring around the neck of the living thing to control it. How can the ferocious beasts obediently stretch their necks to let me the principle of control? Breed explained carefully. Tetsolo and Enel looked at each other, and they could see the horror in each other's eyes. Sugar's childlike fruit now surprised them, and they didn't expect another one to appear now. Ouch! At this moment, a loud whale call suddenly sounded, and a white whale suddenly emerged from the sea. It was an extremely rare narwhal, and there was a huge silverback gorilla on its horn. One cried. Breed, let go of their control. Levi ordered while looking at the collars around the two animals' necks. But, Breed was in a dilemma. He had raised this beluga whale since he was a child. It had always been Breed's biggest trump card. This beluga had saved Breed's life several times. Breed originally wanted to argue, but after he saw Levi's half-smiling eyes, he wisely released the control of the two beasts. When he realized that the control was gone, the silverback gorilla first touched his neck in confusion, and then he screamed excitedly. He jumped directly into the sea and swam towards the island next to him. But the white whale did not leave. It was still screaming anxiously beside Levi's boat. It was obvious that it was very worried about Breed's safety. Shall be you, I have been mistreating you like this, and you still insist on leaving me. For a while, Breed cried into a ball. Well, Breed, here's your chance to make a name for yourself. After speaking, Levi took Breed into the cabin without waiting for his objection, leaving only the white whale lingering beside Levi's boat. Master Levi, my mission is completed, don't you think? Eric came to Levi with his face close to his face, and he nodded and bowed as if he was Levi's subordinate. Eric, I want to give you a task to protect someone, Levi said to Eric after a long pause. Who needs the protection of a lowly person like me? Don't joke, Eric replied cautiously. This person is quite special. I can't let others know my existence. Levi knew Eric's nature. He was the kind of person who would not do anything to benefit him, so he said to Eric, I will give you 100 million bay. How about the price of profit and hockey's cultivation method? Levi's conditions were so generous that Eric didn't know how to refuse. Not to mention the reward of 100 million belly. Eric had been coveting hockey's training method for a long time. As a veteran who has been in the East Blue for many years, he knows that the powerful people on the Grand Line all practice a power called hockey. Eric has seen Marine from the naval headquarters from the New World take action. Their bodies are covered with a layer of black material, and then they become extremely powerful and invulnerable. Faced with this temptation, Eric's breathing became obviously heavier. Who do you want me to protect? A shipbuilder in the 7 capitals of water. I want you to disguise yourself as an ordinary shipwright and save him when he is in danger. Of course, if there are enemies you can't deal with, you can send me a message directly and I will do it for you. Said it right, Levi said directly. Okay, then I'll take over this task. Eric took a deep breath and said to Levi. This was the most rewarding mission Eric had ever taken, and he couldn't help but refuse it. So in front of Shimotsuki village, Whirlwind Eric said goodbye to Levi and headed towards the 7 capitals of water. Friends, it's a new day, a new beginning. If you have flowers and review votes, please give me a try. Finally, I'm asking for monthly votes, rewards, flowers, and reviews. Today I still have 6 updates. Chapter 50 Marine's Ambush, please give me flowers, collections and comments. Levi smiled and said, Old man Garp, no one can tell lies. If you have the ability, just defeat me. Garp took off his jacket and threw it aside. This was a sign that he was ready to fight with all his strength. This was the 3rd time he had fought so seriously. The first time was when he teamed up with Roger to fight against Rocks. The second time was when he teamed up with Sengoku to fight against Golden Lion and Mariejois, and now this is the third time that he is ready to fight with all his strength. Garp, I've long heard that your armament hockey is the best in Marine. Let me see it today. Levi let out a long laugh, then he clenched his fist and rushed towards Garp. 10,000 Wa Jung Fist. Levi used Murloc Karate on the basis of Marine 6 styles. Now he has integrated Murloc Karate with Marine 6 styles. When the two are added together, the power is not as simple as 1 plus 1. But faced with such a powerful punch from Levi, Garp's expression did not change. He just punched out flatly and headed towards Levi's fist. Contrary to Levi's expectation, Garp's punch was surprisingly powerful, and he didn't see how Garp was accumulating power. However, when their fists collided, Levi felt like he had hit a mountain. Boom! Levi's body slid backwards, leaving 2 long marks on Garp's ship. Finally, Levi's body broke through the railing of the ship and flew out, directly hitting the opposite mountain wall. After a loud noise, Levi's body was buried under the rubble. Garp stepped on Moonwalk and chased Levi. Enel glanced at the battle between Levi and Garp and looked away. Levi had Levi's battle, and he, Enel, also had his own battle. Let's let the horses come together. Enel took a bite of the apple and said to the vice admirals opposite. The vice admirals opposite had very ugly expressions. They were all well known among the Marines, and they never expected to be so looked down upon by a pirate today. I, the Ghost Spider, can defeat you alone without them taking action. A tall man with a 2-headed dragon helmet on his head walked out. Life returned. As the vice admiral shouted, an extremely shocking scene appeared. His hair was automatically divided into 6 strands, and each strand was holding a long knife. In addition to the long knife in his hand, now he was holding what he took was 8 knives. Hachi Ryu. No wonder it's called the Ghost Spider. It's so weird. Facing this weird swordsman, Enel couldn't help but get excited. Life Return is the strongest skill of Marine 6 styles. Enel also learned it from Levi, but because the effect of Life Return was not as good as Thunder Fruit, he stopped practicing it later. Unexpectedly, he met a master who can use Life Return here today. What the boss said was indeed true. There are indeed many strong people on this sea. Lei Yijin. In a flash of lightning, the gold in Enel's hand slowly turned into a trident, and then the two figures rushed together. Enel's Thunder Fruit is very good at group battles, and then his entire figure turned into a bolt of thunder and lightning. His figure shuttled back and forth at extremely fast speeds. He actually used the extreme speed of Thunder Fruit to fight against several other vice admirals at the same time. The remaining vice admirals were originally not prepared to take action, but after Enel's provocation, they could no longer tolerate it. They all drew their swords out of their sheaths and attacked Enel. Although the vice admirals were tyrannical, they did not fall behind in the face of Enel. He was originally a very talented person. In the original plot, he did not get help from anyone and just relied on his own exploration. Thunder Fruit has been developed to such a terrifying degree. Later, he and Levi came to the sea. He used thunder and lightning to temper his body every day, and Levi also taught him the training methods of Marine 6 styles and hockey. Although there is still a slight gap between Enel and Marine's 3 admirals, it is not a big problem for Enel to beat Vice Admiral with its current strength. Enel and the 5 vice admirals fought vigorously and did not fall behind at all, but Levi on the side was in big trouble. Levi climbed out of the pile of rocks. His body had been tempered like a famous sword. Ordinary injuries would not cause harm to Levi's body at all. Marine 6 styles is my Marine secret. Your Marine 6 styles are so authentic. Who taught you? Garp asked Levi. How could Levi hide his Marine 6 styles from the eyes of him, a master of Marine 6 styles, when he was running Marine 6 styles? Levi's Marine 6 styles were definitely taught by someone within Marine, and the person who taught him was at least a vice admiral. Facing Levi, Garp first began to cherish his talent, but this kid killed celestial dragons, and he was destined not to become a Marine. Levi patted the dust on his body and said to Garp, "Old man Garp, let's do it again." Haha, you are such a boy who refuses to admit defeat. I like to teach juniors like you a lesson. Garp laughed and punched Levi away. Friends, there are guests at home today, so the author's coding is a little affected, but everyone's flowers and monthly tickets are so powerful, there will definitely be 6 updates today. The author is working hard on coding. Thank you for your support. Finally, thank you again to the friends who voted for flowers, monthly tickets and evaluation votes. Your support is the author's greatest motivation. Thank you all.